Let's go. Good morning, my friends. It's your old pal PeaceLoveMusic with another episode of the Let's Go Good Morning Show, brought to you live by DeOrganized Media in partnership with our amazing friends at BitcoinLive Decentralized Broadcasting. It is Friday. Friday. That's the chant my wife does on Fridays because she works Monday through Friday. It's Friday. We've made it through the week. One day left to crush it. And what a week it has been. So many great things, tons of support for SIP31, lots of voting activity already, just launched a couple of days ago. If you have not yet, stx.eco is the place to go. Go cast your vote, cast your stacks for SIP31. We're super excited to have our regular cast of crew for Friday mornings. I got GP and Jack Binswitch in the wings. Also have our good friend Jamie Fletcher, aka Bamber Fish Cake from the Dog Pool crew, Full Fat Casino, OG Instax, and a good friend of ours going to come join the conversation as well. Sorry, I'm a little slow this morning. It is Friday, and it's been a busy week. We have so much awesome stuff coming for the ecosystem. And there's a lot of work going in and all around. I did want to actually give a shout out to Rena from Trust Machines and the OG from Stacks, high level, coming out and supporting the Bitcoin Pepe community space yesterday. It was a very lit space. I wish I had more time to participate in that. I had to get out and produce Melanie's show. Great show. Another great episode of Bitcoin and Beyond yesterday with Jacob from Hermetica. If you have not watched it, go check that out. And friendly reminder, this is a news show. We're providing news and information, sometimes some entertainment and education, but never financial advice. Always do your own research. Never invest money you cannot afford to lose. I am not a financial advisor. That being said, the numbers in this morning, Bitcoin holding on to the 107K level. As of a little while before broadcast, we were at $107 and $26 on Bitcoin. Stacks settling in that above 65 cent range at 65.46, holding on to number 67 by market cap on coin market cap. Fear and Greed Index dropped a little bit from 50 to 49, still in that neutral range. And the top three gainers on CoinMarketCap for the last 24 hours are SEI, Aptos, and Fartcoin. Fartcoin getting a lift. Stacks, Stack STX, Earn BTC. SBTC is programmable Bitcoin for DeFi. Stacks has fast, low-fee transaction, proof of transfer security, native Bitcoin rewards, and an amazing community of like-minded people that are here for the ethos, the distributed, decentralized, permissionless, trustless, open source, leave me alone if I'm not hurting anybody ethos. And it's amazing. And if you're looking to support that, and of course people building on Bitcoin are here for that too, take a look at Stacks. In the Stacks very robust DeFi ecosystem, Hermetica is offering 3% yield on USDH. That's the lowest I've ever seen it. So when Bitcoin rips, that's probably, that percentage probably yield is probably going to go up. But right now you get 3% on your dollar stable coin backed by Bitcoin over at Hermetica. And pretty soon you'll have more options with your SUSDH, liquid staked USDH, that you receive when you stake your USDH. They have over $5.5 million total value locked in the platform over there, and a really slick new interface. Go check them out. DCA into Bitcoin, stacks, runes, and more effortlessly at bitflow.finance. And now you can drop off all your meme token pets at the Bitflow barn and earn yield in the pools at Bitflow with your dogs and your cats and your Leo and your Welsh. Get over there, put your money to work at Bitflow. Not financial advice. Velar Perp Dex is live. Now you can engage in perp trading. Stake your Velar, pair your favorite tokens with SBTC, earn yield, trade all your favorite stacks tokens on Velar. Protocol is a Bitcoin native DeFi protocol enabling cross-chain swaps, bridging, and payments in BTC, connecting Bitcoin to 20 plus blockchains. Zest is offering 3.97% on your SBTC. That's right, you're getting almost 4% on Bitcoin right now, lending it out over at Zest Protocol. And Zest is offering 9.0% on your STSTX, which is the highest yield on Zest today, over at Stacking DAO, where you can get your STSTX. You deposit your stacks and you earn 8.99% on your stacks and receive liquid STX, which you can then deploy into other DeFi opportunities like at Zest. You can also just stack your stacks with native stacking at Stacking DAO with 9.67% yield in native BTC, or they also have STX BTC, where you can earn SBTC and then also receive liquid token STX BTC to deploy further in the Stacks robust Bitcoin DeFi ecosystem. What is happening on Stacks today? I am heading over to DeOrganized Media. I'm going to check out that schedule, look in our calendar. I know we just had a great, again, whatever morning space at 8 a.m. And I call it the whatever morning because when you're listening to Binta and GP and the vibes, the good vibe tribe, the vibes that you need to get you through whatever the day puts your way, you get your mind right with these super great people giving the vibes on the whatever morning space. That's every day at 8 a.m. Turn it on. You don't have to come in and chat. You're certainly welcome to, but turn it on and just listen. Listen to them talk and put things right. The world is positive, and we need to sometimes have that frame of mind to move forward. As always, we have the morning show. We come on at 8:30 every Monday through Friday, bringing you the news and all the information we can bring to you. We have the Stacks Innovation Community Call that happens at 10:30. Hero and Hattie will be joining us. I think Blockface too. Also, Find2Earn rounds at 9:30 before that. And then 5 p.m. every Friday, the OGs, Purple Pill Friday with Dan and Brad. It is a great way to round up the week. The longest running space, stacks-oriented space on X. Been doing it for years. OGs and Chads and that. Go check them out. And then every Monday through Friday, 7 p.m., we got more vibes with GP and the crew on the DeOrganized nightly show. And that is the calendar for the day. Let me actually get into technical difficulties. The news. Bakkt has filed a $1 billion shelf registration with the SEC, positioning itself to raise significant capital for strategic acquisitions, including expanding its Bitcoin holdings. The move signals Bakkt's push to deepen its role as an institutional gateway for BTC exposure amid renewed corporate treasury interest. If approved, the shelf could let Bakkt issue various securities, giving it flexibility to act quickly on market opportunities. This filing follows Bakkt's broader pivot toward a crypto custody and institutional Bitcoin products. Bitcoin is trading a steady above 107K as traders brace for a major options expiry this Friday. With over $5 billion in open interest set to settle, derivatives analysts note a balanced put-call ratio suggesting neutral sentiment among whales. Traders are closely watching this expiry to gauge potential price volatility and the next directional move, as Bitcoin's strong macro fundamentals continue to attract institutional capital despite summer liquidity concerns. Could be a little slow, could be a little sideways for a little while. The market's unsure. We'll see what happens. Always going to be some volatility. U.S. equity futures rose overnight, pushing the S&P 500 and NASDAQ closer to record levels. Crypto market analysts say this macro optimism could help propel Bitcoin to fresh highs if risk appetite persists. With inflation data cooling and trades positioning for a softer Fed, investors may rotate into risk-on assets, with BTC often trading in tandem with tech stocks. Analysts expect strong correlation to continue as macro tailwinds lift both equities and digital assets into the new quarter. I'm not sure how to pronounce this one, so if you guys want to give me some phonetical help in the live chat, I would really appreciate it. Upexi, I'm not sure. A NASDAQ listed company is stepping deeper into crypto by announcing it will tokenize its company shares using the Solana blockchain. In parallel, Upexi revealed it has boosted its SOL holdings by 56,000 coins, aiming to, I just hotkeyed something by accident, aiming to integrate blockchain more directly into its core business strategy. This marks another milestone for Solana's corporate adoption, showcasing how traditional firms are using tokenization to offer fractionalized ownership and improve share liquidity for investors worldwide. Hong Kong regulators have rolled out a fresh framework to govern virtual assets exchanges, stablecoins, and token issuance. The new roadmap tightens oversight for crypto firms operating in the region, reinforcing investor protections while encouraging compliant innovation. This policy pivot aims to cement Hong Kong's role as a regional crypto hub, competing with Singapore and Dubai. Market participants say clearer rules could draw in more institutional players and boost Asia's role in the global crypto market. ETF flows on June 26. Bitcoin spot ETFs experienced a net inflow of $588.6 million, extending their 13-day streak to a total of about $2.9 billion. BlackRock's IBIT led with an inflow of $163.7 million, while Fidelity's FBTC and Bitwise's BitB followed with $32.9 million and $25.2 million, respectively. $588.6 million in net inflows and a 13-day win streak of about 2.9 billion for Bitcoin. Can you say supply shock incoming? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Do not paper hand right now, even if it gets volatile. Hold, fam. Hold. Not financial advice, but good advice. Ethereum spot ETF saw a total net inflow of $1 billion over the past 15 trading days, reaching about $4 billion in cumulative inflows. BlackRock's ETH recorded the highest single day inflow of $5.3 billion total, with $5.3 billion total since launch, followed by Fidelity with 1.65 in inflows. The ETFs are growing. There's a lot of interest, and I cannot see where that's going to slow down anytime soon, or in earnest over the long term. There will be peaks and valleys. Pay attention. SIP31 vote is live. Voting is now open on SIP31, a major governance proposal that would establish and fund a Stacks endowment to support ecosystem growth. The proposal introduces new STX emissions to fund developer tools, grants, infrastructure, and marketing, while preserving decentralized oversight through a community-elected Treasury Committee. For SIP31 to pass, at least 80 million stacked STX must participate in the vote, and at least 80% of the votes must be in favor. Voting is live until July 9th and can be completed at stx.eco. Super easy to do. using a Stacks wallet or a Bitcoin wallet for solo stackers. Creating a vote costs less than one micro stacks or a few sats, and rewards are wallet specific. Vote now at stx.eco. On the heels of an amazingly bullish roadmap update, Stacks has hit a major milestone. I got the wrong one. Hold on. I got the wrong one. Zero Authority DAO, a decentralized reputation-based work platform built on Stacks, currently has 8 active bounties listed on its public bounty board. These open tasks include art contests, design gigs, and ecosystem support rules with rewards paid in STX, RU, and USDH tokens. The platform uses smart contract-based escrow to ensure secure payouts, and all participants earn on-chain reputation for their completed work. Zero Authority's bounty board is designed to attract creators, community contributors, and gig workers from across the Web3 space, offering a decentralized alternative to traditional freelance marketplace. Huge fan of what Zero and Hodl and the team over there at Zero Authority have built and have been building. They're tremendous actors in the space, well beyond what they're building at Zero Authority. Huge chads, and love to see what they're doing. Been super excited about this, and it's now here. And we're very excited. If you have not, get over to zeroauthoritydao.com, connect your wallet, set up your account, and get started. Participate. Also want to just shout out BoostX. Crypto dudes building some really awesome stuff with BoostX. It's at BoostX_app. It's a Chrome extension that allows you to send and receive stacks directly through your X account, and also now with some functionality on Discord. Great stuff going on from Crypto Dude. Rozar's Charisma platform and his Blaze subnets and all the amazing functionality and use cases he's building out there. Huge shout out to Rozar. Fact Fun and Rafa's Fact Fun project and all the cool stuff that he's built out over there. Token launch. We also have a great one with STX.city and what Kawawin's been building out over there. BNS.1 is the place to get your digital ID, your .btc or .stx name. Get that over at BNS.1. We have amazing Find2Earn games every day, facilitated by the game master Xenitron, both here and throughout the ecosystem in other places, and more to come from that. Tons and tons of stuff being built. Oh yeah, I want to mention Boom Wallet. Dan and the crew over there building out some really great stuff for helping expand the creator economy and his smart shops. We're really excited about that. Huge shout out to the Stacks Ascent program and all the devs building on projects over there and the support they're getting from the foundation on that. And if you are looking to become a dev on Stacks, a builder or creator, and you're interested in learning how to dev on Stacks, you go over to stacks.co over at the right-hand side. Be up over here somewhere. It says get started, and from there you can learn they have beginner guides, access to developer tools, and full app building resources over at stacks.co. Get started. It's a great place to build. Friendly reminder too, guys, chads, share out the live stream. If you like what we do, you support if you're here for the ethos like we are, share out the live stream. Help us spread the message. Help us spread the good news and help grow and build more on Bitcoin, build more through our communities on Stacks. And it really does help us out. Very briefly, or very quickly, I just want to shout out some amazing partners in the ecosystem. We are very fortunate to have some great protocols on Stacks already that are very functional and working. One of them being Stacking DAO, the leading liquid staking platform for the Stacks network. Stacking DAO is changing the game by letting users earn up to 10% APY on their STX while keeping their assets liquid. Unlike traditional staking, their unique design means no minimums, and users start earning rewards immediately. So there are zero switching costs when moving from other stacking pools. Plus, you've got options. Choose to get your rewards in STX or SBTC, whatever fits your strategy. Want to start earning yields today? Head over to stackingdao.com and jump on in. Stacking DAO is where liquidity meets opportunity. We also have an amazing partner with BitFlow, the top DEX on Stacks. letting you trade native BTC, STX, SBTC, USDC, runes, and more all in one place by aggregating the best prices on Alex, Arcadico, and Valar. Recently, BitFlow rolled out Flex Pools, launching with STX, STX pools to support liquid staking assets, offering flexible deposits, smarter rewards, and deeper liquidity. And do not forget to go over to the Zeely campaigns, the Stacks DeFi Summer campaign over at Zeely is live. There's lots of opportunity, over 50,000 stacked up for grabs and rewards. BitFlow has a very robust Zeely campaign going on as well, so you can take advantage of that and go get on there and get it going. I think that is all I have for that. You guys know, you Chads know, share out the stream. I'm going to bring on our friends. We have GP in the house. Good morning, brother. How are you doing today, man? I love the post. Let's go. He was ready. GP's ready to get it today. What's up?
Friday, dude.
Happy Friday. I love that. Yep. Jack Ben Switch in the house. What's up?
Trying to do a blue steel like GP just did.
Yeah, you got it. I see you. I see you. And we got Jamie in the house. What's up, Jamie? How you doing today, man? Great to have you on.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I did think about voguing a match where GP was GP's dramatic entrance. But
every guest has to strike a pose as they're coming on.
New rule.
New rule.
Happy Friday, fellas, man.
GP innovating. He can, whether he can help it or not, he doesn't know. He's innovating every step of the way.
I'm trying to go to the Gen Zers, right? Like the ones that are TikTokers, and they do the little the facial expressions.
Oh yeah, man, I love it. I love it.
You know where this is gonna end up, right? Like someone on the show is gonna wind up getting like lip fillers and shit. Like this could get completely out of hand.
Last night I had a
prediction market bet on that is that Melanie has the highest odds of being the first one with something like that. Well, block fees, I don't know, actually.
Yeah, it's hard to say, man.
Oh no, yeah, good call. It'd be a big prediction. So, yeah, I think that I'd put some side bets.
Maybe moron.
So, guys, how you guys feeling? The week's about over. I know we've all been working and crushing it. Jamie, I want to shout out. I love that the traction you've been getting with your dog pool. Shoot, I can't think. What's it called? The off the chain shows on Wednesday morning.
Yeah, off the leash. Yeah,
off the leash.
Same thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I should get it right, but I was. I'm not prepared for what I'm going to say. It's all a rip at the end of the day.
Friday.
But I do love I love your spaces. I'm a huge fan. I haven't been able to get in as regularly, but I caught it this week and getting a lot of turnout, a lot of engagement on there, and I love the crew that you're building. The good community over there.
Yeah, it's good. We're quite lucky, really. The community that we've got, even though it's small, is quite loyal. They always turn up for the show. My co-host, Mikey, he brings a lot of people from his project along with it, and we share a Discord with a couple of other projects. So that's helped us a bit. We've got some new friends in there coming along, but it's always better when you guys turn up as well, and not just bringing the news, but the vibes that you bring as well. We wouldn't be there if it weren't for you guys. So
I think that's so cool, Jamie, that you guys have a joint Discord operation, right? You guys called it the trenches. Is that what it is?
Yes. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I mean, we've always, you need a Discord as a project, or I feel that you need a Discord or somewhere. I mean, Telegram seems to be a bit more popular now, but somewhere where the community can gather. We have the Telegram, and Yeah, Mikey just said, we're getting a few projects together under one banner so that we can all support one another and all help push each other. I know probably, although the list is growing, I know sort of there's about 10 different projects in there now, I think. And I know 6 or 7 of them personally. So I felt comfortable going in there. And who knows, we might grow to a scale where we decide to get our own Discords. But the benefits are great, and I didn't realise them at first. But you're in there, you're mingling with people. It's a good way to network with projects that we already knew, but also to get their communities together. Because that's the toughest thing, isn't it? Is building the community. You can build the best products in the world and have the most brilliant idea, but you're nothing without attention and the community. So yeah, it's working well for us.
I agree.
Yeah,
the community building. Some people kind of don't realize how much work goes into it. There is a lot of work. You're constantly like having conversations, trying to figure out collaborations, and it is a lot of work, and it's very important for project success.
And it's very important for people to belong to a community.
Right.
For those reasons you pointed out, Jamie. The networking, the obliteration of the learning curve. You help people grow and learn. And so, Melanie, you didn't do your on-screen Vogue. You have to.
She doesn't.
Yeah.
Vote again.
Well, GP came in with the look, and then Jack kind of mimicked it. So we're gonna, from now on, guests have to Vogue as they get turned on screen.
Oh no, but I don't want to do it today because today I'm sick and I look terrible. Today we're voting on accents.
Well, even when you look terrible, you look great, Mel. But and we'll exempt you from the pose because you're always kind of setting it up anyway, right? You're always
everyone else is nerfed relative to Mel anyway, right? So
right.
Yeah. Exactly.
But guys, look, I must be winning at my pose today, actually. Because look where I am. I've got a furry blanket because it's winter. I'm not in my office. I'm on the couch. I'm in a tracksuit.
I think you do win.
You're
right. Yeah, there's a vibe there. You're right.
Yeah, but no makeup on. My hair's dirty.
Yeah, certainly.
My hair's dirty too.
Huh?
My hair's dirty too, don't worry.
Oh, I know. You need to wash your hair as well, I'm noticing.
Yeah. I skipped the shower this morning.
Peace, when you're talking about the APY on USDH earlier today, it's cool. That signals, right? That signals that a lot of people are long Bitcoin because that's the way the APY works. If when longs are paying shorts, you get a higher APY on USDH. So it's really cool to have a stable coin that's also a market indicator. It's unique.
I think USDH is really, really cool. I think there's another stable coin that's been floating around that I've seen deemed the first Bitcoin backed stable coin, and I have been so just in the comments saying do you know about USDH?
It's fiat. The one that's been getting the attention. It's fiat on Bitcoin. It's what, man?
What?
You trying to polish a turd here? It's better than fiat. We're trying to get away from fiat. What are you doing?
Yeah, and it's to have it be first and then native and all this stuff, and then it just have it it turns out whenever you boil it all down, it's fiat. Come on, man. Not a Bitcoin.
I got a great lesson last night in my show. Because I don't.
Jacob.
You know why? I was getting confused how to pronounce his name because I heard some people say Jacob and some people say Jacob.
It would be Jacob, but everyone just says Jacob, so he's.
Okay, so it wasn't so bad. That's why I didn't come out fluidly because I was like, oh, should I say Jacob? Anyway, yes. I'm going to say Jacob. It's easier. With Jacob last night, obviously talking about Hermetica and USDH And I mean, I don't know jack shit about like really, longing and shorting and all that sort of business, right? I come from an arts background, so it's not like I'm supposed to know this sort of stuff. But anyway, I heard him say, like in a previous interview somewhere else, about how we're not ready yet to spend Bitcoin. We are in the accumulating phase with Bitcoin because we're still building the rails. The rails don't exist. They do exist, but we haven't built them out properly. And Bitcoin is too valuable to spend now. Nobody's actually going to be spending their Bitcoin. So really what we should be building now is products to save Bitcoin and spend stable coins. And it kind of just suddenly made such sense to me that you want to save your Bitcoin, earn some yield on it, do some investing with your Bitcoin, and then have your stable coin and use that for spending. And it kind of just made such sense. But I still didn't really understand properly. So last night in the middle of the interview, I was just like, dude, listen, I actually don't know what's going on here. Please, can you explain it to me? So I had like a lesson from the maestro last night.
Right. Well, I think that was actually, that makes for great content. And he loved the opportunity, by the way, it looked like to me, to kind of give you that overview of how it all worked. And that's good because the average user doesn't understand all that either. So now there's an opportunity.
That's what I thought as well.
Yeah, I thought it was a great interview. I mean, we've had Jacob on a number of times already. He's obviously a good dude, consider him a friend, and he's so
interesting. Oh my gosh, I could
very,
talk
very
to
smart
him.
dude.
Yeah,
I've heard you guys say this a few times. It's like that if you don't know where the yield is coming from, you are likely to yield. So I think it's important to understand how USDA works.
Right.
Very, very brilliant.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's nice. I can make cool little clips with that content as well, you know, for explainers, for people who, because that's the thing, even though I've been in this ecosystem for long, listen, I had every meme coin, I had like money on every single platform, right from the early days of Alex. I had like $5,000. I'd bought 300, and that's how long I'd have it going. What are those? Yeah, Alex tokens, I think it was. Yeah, before it went all tits up. But so yeah, and I still don't understand it completely. So it was very nice to.
Well, that speaks to how important it is what we're doing here. It speaks to Jamie's point about the importance of being in a community when you're here, because the learning curve is massive. Like when you're coming in here starting from like square one and you're just like, what's a crypto? Like there's so much to learn, right?
It's true though. It's true. Yeah. And having that community relationship, right? Being able to, I'm trying to say this in a way that makes sure that, like, you shouldn't be seeking out a community to tell you what to do, but you should find people that you can engage with that you resonate with, personality wise, ethos wise, like you're here for the same reasons, and then fill in the gaps for each other, so that you can learn from them, they can learn for you, and you have this trust network of people that you're not trusting them blindly. You're getting to know them so you can build some trust.
Yeah, it's important, and it's like an old school type crypto thing. Like a lot of things are changing in the space. Crypto Twitter is a completely different animal than it used to be. There and things, you'll only expect them to see them change more rapidly as time goes on. But I think that's one of the old school holdovers we're always going to have. And it's important because even if you look at, like, let's call it the DeOrganized crew, right? Like if you think about all the people who are always participating, always around, always in the DMs and the group chats and stuff, you've got people all they focus on different things. So if you take, like, for right now, like just off the top of my head, Shiflet. Like, okay, so Shiflet's going to come at you with some TradFi alpha all the time, right? Nobody has all of the bandwidth to know everything that's going on, right? If we wanted to know something about art or a new ordinals collection, NFT, or what have you, you know, Mel's right there in the middle of it. Like, you've got all of these different, and that's the power of having that group, right? Where you become greater than yourself. Just easier flow of information, and again, like you just learn more, and it makes
and you can rely on each other as well. You know,
Yeah.
to kind of you haven't got one person. You know, it's like I was saying to you about us writing articles. You know, even though you might be the smartest of everybody when it comes to doing all that stuff, you can't have the sole responsibility of having to do that stuff all the time. So you have to just have like a group of people writing, you know, even though, and that's just in a way nice, the way decentralization works so nicely as well. You know, sometimes you don't get like the best of the best, but it doesn't matter because everybody's getting a chance and actually getting better, learning from each other all the time. I wouldn't be where I am in the ecosystem if it wasn't for everybody that was the people that I was lucky enough to be surrounded by for my journey. You know, that's how I got here, was exactly what you're saying, Jack.
Yeah. And like it only builds. It only builds because as you like pass on what you know and you help empower other people, it creates momentum, and it creates a dynamic where other people become, you know, as they're more empowered and they learn more and they find their niche or whatever, and they pass that on. And that's what you have in Stacks. That's the part that's like, so it's impossible to buy, that you have in Stacks. You have a foundation of an organic community that is just hard to find anywhere else, and it's because of how Stacks started. And so, you know, even now in this ecosystem, you know, you have people who've been here a long time, you have people who are coming up, and they have like these amazing resources where they can learn and be mentored and so forth. And you just don't organically find that, because it doesn't exist organically in very many places. It just happens to exist organically here.
It's very extraordinary what we've got here.
100%. Like it's not, when we say Stacks is the best ecosystem, we're not saying that because we like to hear ourselves talk. Like it's just one of those things that's just true. And like if you look at how the SIP votes going right now, it's going extraordinarily well. Like the way that was communicated, the way that information got filtered through the community. Like you'd be hard pressed to find someone in this community who doesn't know a whole hell of a lot about SIP 31 and the reason why it was there. Like, well, DeOrganized played a huge part in that. You know, all of the Twitter X spaces that are all networked and talked about throughout these various hubs.
The content guild, all the work Harrow has been doing, and Hattie and myself, like with laying the groundwork for this to actually work with the last 6 to 9 to 12 months of SIP calls and involving that and establishing the SIP deputies project and working on that. Speaking of 10:30, you guys are welcome to hang out. We're going to do a little bit more informal SIP. I don't think we have any big guests. It's just, you know, Harrow, Hattie, myself, maybe Blockface. So we don't have a full we won't have a full stage. We have to, not trying to obligate anybody to stay on for hours and hours this morning either. Just wanted to leave that invitation open.
It depends on my son. He's taken summer classes for university, and he's taken over my workstation. So I guess it depends on when his lectures start. Yeah, I don't know how you can be the Paterfamilias and like just get kicked out of your dens. So
doesn't that happen? That's exactly life. I mean, you're driving life, right? He's going to kick you out of your den.
Yeah.
Anyways,
because he knows you'll give it to him, man. That's why. I mean, Dad's going to definitely sacrifice for me. And
What's he
Move
studying?
over.
He's
Sammy.
taking like because he's in for electrical engineering, so he's taking like
yeah.
these next level math classes and stuff
Nice.
that if you gave me 10 years in a calculator, I'd still be trying to figure it all out.
I can't even work a fucking calculator, dude. So I'm like, don't even come at me with maths because it's never gonna happen for you. Okay.
Yeah, it's no dice.
I don't know the difference between a remote control and a calculator. They all just look the same device with buttons on that I don't want to touch.
Teddy's over here answering the phone with the high tech remote, like to the TV.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not that bad, okay? It's
I
okay.
know.
Find it.
Mrs. Peace Love actually likens her math skills to. She's like, well, you know how there's that monkey with the symbols, and he's going and going. Well, that's kind of like he's in there in my brain, and then somebody asks me a math question, and the monkey just yells and falls over.
That's my
That's
brain.
it.
I also
That's
have
it.
his cousin in here because he's also in my brain.
Yeah, we've discussed this before, Mel. You're a symbol monkey math person as well.
Yeah, it is. I get like because my brain just like goes into like it's like how I look at it inside here. It's like just like I don't know. It's like just like that. But now, what's I gonna say? You see, this is now what happens. What are you talking about maths? Oh, and so, but also now I have same like you, Jack. I have Arno and me. I mean, my husband's a musician and an artist. Neither of us can add, and we've ended up with a son who is like diabolically mathematical. Like,
Yeah.
funny how it works,
It was cool because like of all the kids, we've got two now that are in like the school system proper, just because like we're older and we're tired of fighting and this, that, and the other. But the other four, they were all effectively homeschooled, and like when one of the benefits of homeschooling I've noticed in our family has been it allows the kids a chance to figure out who they are without any external pressure, what they like. They don't have to worry about like conforming or anything. It gives them a chance to be who they were really meant to be.
Yeah. So true.
He's one that when he was like 6 years old, he came up to one day. They were in judo, and one of the guys that did judo with us was a cardiothoracic surgeon, and he's like 6 years old. And he came up to me one day and said, "I want to grow up to be a heart doctor when I grow." I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Because I could go in, I could do one heart surgery, and I can make $30,000 and not have to work the rest of the year." And then,
That's
and then about a year later, he was like, "Okay, I want to work for Elon Musk," and from there, that has been like his path, like electrical engineering. Like it started that young, but that was all on him,
amazing.
right? And
I agree with you because my son was also schooled at home until he was 12. So he went back to school last year. And in that time, because he finished his school, because school's actually quite, they just spend year after year doing the same thing. So when you learning at home, you just like whack through the thing. So you've got a lot more spare time.
right.
And that's why he's can build games like he's like a million miles ahead. He built a VR game yesterday in a day. On Saturday, he called me and he went into his room at like say 2:00, so not even a whole day. And at 8:00 I went, and then I was like, okay, enough now. And he says to me, "Hey, check this out. Don't look. And I was like standing there. He says, okay. And then his friend was online. And he's like, okay, look now. And he had his VR headset on, and he was like, look, we built this. This is what we did today.
It's super
What?
cool.
Yeah.
But that's from not wasting his days sitting in a classroom learning things rote. And now he's back at school and he's literally killing everybody, because he's learned how to listen. He never, ever studies for exams, ever, because he just pays attention in class.
Yeah.
You know.
No, there's a lot of benefits to it. That's one of the cool things about AI. It's gonna completely change how we all get educated, and it's gonna make things a lot easier, to do so from home. Way easier. It's gonna be way more efficient.
They have elementary school students paired up with AIs that go with them through grade to grade to grade, all the way through school. Those humans will be the most efficient humans. Like the AI is learning how they learn. They're learning from the AI, so it's a symbiotic relationship. I thought that was really cool, and that's going down in Texas. So really cool stuff. I think that those will.
What? It's actually happening.
Yeah, that's happening. That's a real story. That's real life right now. They're pairing up humans and AI.
It's so they have like a device, and then they put an agent on there.
Yeah, something like that. So they have their own personal AI that learns how they learn. They learn together, and move through grade to grade, and they will end up being the most efficient human being on Earth.
Yeah, because think about it, how much you are debilitated in this in the system that we're in, which caters to one kind of average person. When you have dyslexia or you're unable to verbalize what's in your mind clearly, now people can just be judged equally. That's going to change the game.
Forget about a learning disability. Like there's no such thing anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, we spoke about this before, GP, didn't we? I don't know if you remember, and very interesting experiment. I'm going to try. I'm going to try and get my kids into using AI. We've messed around a little bit creating videos and stuff like that, but it's the right way to go, isn't it? It's the future. I think we all know in here that it's just going to impact.
Yeah, learning how to
heavy impact on all of us.
Yeah.
How old are your kids, Jamie?
So my little girl's 12 and my boy's 9.
Perfect time.
Yeah, it's really interesting what you say, actually, both you and Jack, about homeschooling, because we've been I've been forced into homeschooling my boy, because he just started developing some behavioural issues in class, and then the school didn't seem to cope with it that well, and there was a period of him being sort of quite unsettled, and we had meetings, and then they cut down his hours, and then they were going to extend his hours, and he had this one particular incident where he finds it difficult, like sometimes he lets his emotions build up and then he'll explode, and he threw a picture at the teacher, and that didn't go down too well. Sorry, it's a plane flying right overhead.
That's real. Okay, I was like, I know I'm not being bombed right now. Like it was incoming.
Yeah, and from that instant, they cut him down to an hour a day. So that's what we're going through at the moment. So I'm homeschooling him, and I've had to lay off of a lot of the work that I was doing from home, because I thought I was just going to be able to give him tasks and him do it, but it didn't work out like that. And what he needed was a bit more attention. So I'm giving him the attention he wants. Right. Working through stuff. He's doing great at school now. The only thing that upsets him now is that he's not in school full time, and he's missing the social aspects of things. The playing with his friends every day. But he goes in for an hour a day. He has his lunch. And I know everything's going to be all right, and it's just about convincing him that everything's going to be all right.
Yeah.
But we're getting there. But it's really interesting what you guys said about homeschooling, and I never thought of it like that, Jack, where you said they get more of an opportunity to find out about themselves rather than conform to the latest trend or whatever's going on in the playground. And it's an interesting point. So
it's neat. Like where we're at, they have a very healthy like homeschooling culture. So there's like this association kind of built out around it, and that helps address some of the social aspects. And like my own kids, they were in like Boy Scouts, right? Which is that helped a lot as well. And, you know, do things like take them to martial arts and things like that. And but yeah, it does. When you're around a homeschooled kid, you notice a lot of difference. And some people are like, oh, well, that's weird or whatever. Well, I don't know how weird it is. My oldest son, he's married. He's got a baby on the way. Like, you know, this boy in university, you know, he's got a girlfriend. He's doing great in class. But they do, like, it helps them become who they were going to be anyway, which, you know, and as a father, I tried very hard not to like, and you can't help it. Sometimes they wind up liking the music you like, or sometimes they like the hobbies you like, or whatever, because there's a certain bit of modeling. But I really tried very hard not to like push you know, you need to do this. This is what you need to do. This is what you need to do, and just kind of let them figure it out themselves.
Right.
And,
here's your belief system. Right. This is what you should.
Yeah.
This is the way you should see the world. But yeah, I see that. That freedom is pivotal. And letting them be free thinkers and being. I don't have kids myself, so I would imagine that, but listening to you guys talk about yours, right? Like that's the best I can get from it is that you're creating like an environment that encourages like free thinking. Make your own opinion.
And it's also so important in life to be able to be alone and to self-learn, to not need constant prompting, and that is what I noticed about my son. He loves going out. He loves spending time with people, because we did what you did, Jack. We did nippers, which is like junior life-saving, karate, tennis. So he was, constantly, and we've got like a walking group. He's had the same friends since grade R, so we stayed in touch with those people. We went camping together. So he had a very full life on both sides, besides, and we had a tutor at home. So it was very structured. He got up in the morning, we had a separate building that wasn't in our house, and he kind of went to school. They had a blackboard, a whiteboard up, and a little kitchen and a little bathroom. So he kind of he got dressed in the morning, packed a little bag, said bye, and went there, even though he was at home. Then he would come home for lunch. But what I noticed about him is he can spend hours and hours and hours by himself, and not kind of need constant stimulation, which is also so important, So I think my advice would be to get a really good structure in place. I think specifically for boys, girls are able to self kind of, like the one headmaster we had said, he's never heard a group of boys get together on a play date and say, okay, I'm going to hand out some sheets of paper and some Cokie pens, and we're all going to sit and,
Right.
that's not what boys do. So they need a bit of structure, but they also need, my son as well, is kind of on the spectrum as well. I am. And so I kind of understood that. So I never used to make him sit at a desk. It was a problem. So when he was at school, initially for the first year, he had like one of those balls he had to sit on. He was constantly being kept in at break because he wasn't finishing his work on time, because he was distracted. And he didn't want to do music class because he could just play by ear. Everything was like this rigid thing which didn't fit him. So when we schooled him, we had a beautiful carpet on the floor in the room, the little classroom he had. And he used to sit on the floor and play with his little cars and his little things while he was studying, so that and that's why I'm saying he just listens in class, because that was the best way for him to learn, was by listening and not having to take notes. And now he works in class beautifully, but he draws pictures like all over. His books are covered with it, and he's
That's
got such that's how you were.
Yeah.
And his teachers, they let him do it. They're like, you know what, this is. But he excels. He gets like A's for firsts for everything,
Yeah, I used to just draw in class, and I was the same thing. I could listen, but like I couldn't sit still. I was either like drumming at my desk, or I'd take like the edge of my books, and I would like make little stickman animated comics.
Yeah.
Flip the book. Yeah.
I just want to, before it gets lost in the comments, I want to shout out Darth Dude, who said, I was homeschooled and I turned out perfectly abnormal. And I would agree. You are perfectly abnormal.
Listen, you couldn't get better than perfectly abnormal. I aspire to being perfectly abnormal. In fact, I am.
Mel, you've achieved also, Mel, I would say.
Okay. Listen, that's exactly what I want to be.
I think in this world of that we're entering of AI and you know how important creative minds are going to be, it's going to pay to be abnormal.
Good point.
You can't get innovation if everyone's trying to do the exact same thing.
So, like, if you look at it this way, it brings to mind actually a post that Jakob made yesterday, which was essentially, and I'm paraphrasing, like, in a world where we're entering, your ability to do deep work is going to be very important, you know? And like, so if you look at like Salesforce is this huge company in the United States, and their CEO put out a press release or whatever yesterday saying half of their work is being done by AI right now. So like, who's going to make it when AI like replaces workers? It's going to be the people who can do deep work, right? Like
there's two kind of ways to look at that though, because the idea that all of a sudden like all of the work is just not going to be, there's not going to be any work for people to do that's valuable because AI doesn't really, like, if there's a bunch of people that are available to do work, that is now available surplus labor that can be used directed towards anything, whatever. So there's always going to be something you can do that's a productive application for surplus available labor. So
but it's still, you're looking at it like from a high level,
right? From an individual level, improve your marketable skills, right? You should always be working to improve your skills.
Like if you're someone who's employed to like, has meetings to schedule more meetings, you're fucked.
Yeah, you're
until
done.
You figure out, like, and that's a lot. There's a lot of make work in this economy,
right?
And so, like at the personal level, it's gonna be a big culture shock to people,
right? It is, because a lot of the jobs for the unskilled are not going to be any much better than what they think they have now to deal with. This has been an amazing conversation. I love getting you guys together on a regular basis, especially since I didn't even have to talk that much. I carried the show. It was great. I love getting a little bit of a break. It is time for Find2Earn. I'm going to play a quick word from our amazing marketing partners, sponsors, and we will be back with the Game Master shortly. It is time. The Game Master is here. How are you today, sir?
GM mortals. Rise and grind. The crypt is open for business. Let's go.
Is the Friday episode of Find2Earn, bringing you into the weekend with rounds sponsored by RuCoin, LeoCoin, Bitcoin, Pepe, Bakkt Fund, and Flat Earth Token. and our jackpot rounds fueled by Skullcoin with STX up for grabs, 20 STX. Thank you all for joining. It is time for our whitelist rounds for new players. I'll do the sharing. You want me to share again, GP? I know you're not feeling good, or you think
I
you want?
appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll share this. I'll share the stream today. So I'm going over to the Skullcoin page, the Skullcoin account on Skullcoin BTC. First rule: you must like and share the live stream. Let me actually forgot to share my screen.
The first rule of Find2Earn is you must share Find2Earn.
You must share. You must share to Find2Earn. I think that music's a little loud. Getting that ready. All right, so we are on the Skullcoin page at Skullcoin BTC, and we are ready and we are waiting. And here is the live stream. Like, repost, which I definitely quote. Anyone that thinks that I don't share out the live stream has not. But like and repost.
Go to the replies, dude. Go to his replies.
Yeah, don't go to my replies. We are on Skullcoin and we are waiting. Guys, let us know in the live chat that you're ready to play. I know we already got a bunch of the hunters in here saying what's up, GM. What's up, Megaphone? Only one MS. What's up, Elder Statesman? Crystal Clear. We are ready. And we have a whitelist round. Is it a double whitelist round? Two games simultaneously?
Yeah, let's play one by one. Let me launch whitelist round for factory fun. It's from beginner, for new players, for players who won 2 times maybe. I'm launching it right now. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's play. And after there will be one more whitelist round for silver, gold. The live panel can play. It will be round for rule.
So another rule: you must like and repost the game rounds. If you find the location and you share the right location, and you are first, but you did not like and repost the game round, the game master will take your prize. So we're clicking on the link. We're opening up our Google Maps. Whoops. Fat fingered a little bit. And we're looking for the location here in a Ghibli. So I think we'll probably see a tree machine here and brick house probably. It's a little bit tricky with the Ghibli image. But we click the map. We're just going to walk forward. Oh, that's not it. It's a boat. I thought we were that close. I think it's down this way.
I'm feeling like Peace might get a win here.
I think that's it. So I'm not eligible, but this is how I would submit. I click that share button. I click copy link. Get back over to the post. And I am not on the wait list because I am in the gold level leaderboard as an OG player. We do have, it looks like somebody replied. So let me actually jump out and jump back into that. And I would actually then post right here. Oh no, Abiomi, you did not find the right location. This is not it. I got tricked by that at first too. So this game round is still open. We are looking. Oh, we might have another answer in. Is that the right one? Hanif BTC. Looks like it's the right one to me. Oh no, I don't think that is the right one.
Yeah, just new players have to realize how to play.
That's closer to the other one.
Yeah, very easy games like PeaceLove just guide you how to find location. Yeah, all the answers still not right one. Abubakar, you have to find locations as starting point. Okay, let's launch the next whitelist game for gold, silver. Everyone from live panel can play. Let's go.
All right, so we're back on the Skull Coin page, and we are waiting for the countdown to launch.
Wanna count down?
I like when Mel does it.
Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah. Come on, Khan.
Let's go.
Is the other game won yet? The Ghibli.
There's 8 answers on there so far. I don't know if we have a winner.
Okay, we have winner. It's I believe this guy Zarmani. Zarmani is the winner, but we play in the new rule game. Let's go.
All right, we got Rue in a Stacks Invaders spaceship. I love that. Huge shout out to the legend of Stacks Legends, Jack Binswitch, in the house today with us. And we're looking for this, looks like a surveyor on the side of the road. This one, is this a whitelist round or is this an open round?
Yeah, it's a whitelist round. But you can play like it's for... We just cut the top players.
Right, so... Usually the whitelists are pretty close to the starting location. But you never know.
It depends of category of whitelists.
So this isn't the starter whitelist. This is the
medium rare.
Medium rare. Like it. I don't think they're up there directing traffic on this dirt road. So. A traffic code. I think it was a false alarm traffic cone.
Is that just a lonely traffic cone? Just a single cone?
Just out there, a poor little guy probably sitting over a small pothole or something. You know, I think we need to show more appreciation for the traffic cones. You know, do a great job for us and get very, very little recognition.
Did y'all see the post today? Rue is officially #1 most liquid token in the ecosystem right now in terms of
let's go. Well,
That's amazing.
that's by well planned and designed initial launch, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's Rue's got staying power, guys. Like, I want it to outlive me. That's the goal.
No, you're not allowed to die, Jack.
That's a good statement. It's a bold statement, though. That's you know, it shows you're thinking far off into the future, and you're here for the long haul. Big fan of what you're doing at Rue and the whole community, Jack. So well done, well deserved.
Yeah.
It's to a point now where the community carries the vast majority of it. I want it to be so much bigger and, like I said, more longevity than me. And we're on that path. Like, you know, when you think of Dogecoin, you think, okay, Dogecoin's just always going to be there. That's the goal. That's what you want. I think that's what you should be going for. So
absolutely, I'm a huge fan of RueCoin and everything you do. Obviously, with the Stacks Invaders and the DMT and the Rue Runes and the upcoming Rue Defenders. I cannot wait for that.
Ooh, when's that?
Hopefully this summer. We're looking at, you know, you always try to like time the market a little bit, but Ian's working on the code now. Rue Defenders are going to be pretty complicated, but it's...
What is it? Can you tell us more?
Well, it's going to be ordinals, right? That's going to be an ordinal collection, and it's going to be an ordinal collection that you can get with the Rue runes, and so yeah, it's going to be really cool. There's a whole lot of like lore being built into this collection.
Yeah, do not fade your Rue runes, fam.
Yeah,
do not fade your
That
Rue
is
runes.
cool.
Yeah, very excited about that. That's to be fun.
How do I get my Rue runes? I never got it. I never sorted mine out.
Wasn't
I always supposed to get them if you had a Stacks Invaders?
You can get them. Yeah, you can like use if you've got Stacks Invaders. You can go to the Stacks Invaders website and you can get your runes that way.
Yeah.
They've got runes listed at Bitflow and Velar and on Magic Eden, like for people who don't have a Stacks Invader. But yeah, I can shoot you the link to the Stacks Invaders website. It's easy to claim them.
No, I've got it. I'll go check it out. I remember I did it. I started doing it at one point, but it's that case of I've always got like 1,200, things open at the top of my screen. Tabs.
Yeah, I feel that.
We still have no winning.
Yeah, maybe it's like the ruin builder just took this person and fly away. I have no idea. Okay, let's play 2 more games and we will find this. After.
Hang on, I think I found it.
You did? Submit it.
Wait.
You're not on the list.
Did I tweet? I didn't even know what I've done here. I was too busy talking. Guys! Oh my god. Okay. And I don't know if I retweeted the game. Please don't be cross with me if I didn't. Did I?
You didn't retweet, Mel? It's the first rule of Find2Earn.
I did the other one. I did. I always do.
Quick, retweet it now.
Somebody did it before me.
I believe we have 2 winners here.
Oh, really?
Somebody did it before me.
I see Melanie on there, though. Tamil Chad got just...
the first person was imid.btc.
Oh, I don't see that.
I don't see that.
That's weird.
I only see Tamil Chad and me.
Yeah, me too. That's weird.
Oh, he dropped in another game.
Oh, he dropped in a different game first?
Yeah, but we will count since, I see notification.
Hey, if you're the game master, sir, if you say that's how it is, that's how it is. I don't have a problem with that. If he got the answer incorrect first, and we can verify that.
Yeah, okay. It's last time when we count in another game. You have to drop an exactly game because, I'm just following notification and I don't see really where is the comment.
You can't see which game it's in when you see it. Is that what you're saying? Because of the way you're tracking.
That is so my fault for forgetting to. You see, guys, players, this is what happens when you forget to retweet the game. You end up losing actual money, which is what just happened to me.
That's right.
And that is why, even though I'm on the gold list, I still get the white list for the new players. Because I am useless.
Mel is special. There's no 2 ways about it.
Okay, we have amazing games.
I would take that nicely.
Yes, I meant it nicely.
Thank
All right.
you.
So we are ready for the next game. Let's go.
All right.
I will count down right now. Okay.
All right, let's go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Pepe Benz, we are going to Oman. The game is launching right now. Refresh Calcoin page.
Let's go. Bitcoin Pepe, the only Pepe coin you need to know about. The Pepe coin on Bitcoin on Stacks. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'll just repost, not.
Okay, the game launched.
The orange frog. We're looking for this image here with the old car up against the wall with the blocks. the buildings behind it. Let's see what we can find. Good luck, hunters.
Good luck, hunters.
No, definitely a lot of architecture around here that fits the image.
What country is this?
Oman, I think he said, or let me zoom out. Yeah, so it's Oman on the water.
Crazy
Okay,
play.
we have a winner, and it's Nixie.btc.
Hey, congratulations, Nixie. Well done.
Congrats.
Oh, you know what? I actually do want to. So again, we're back on the Skull Coin. We're waiting for the next round to launch. I do want to. Assistant boyfriend asked, "Hey, where's Orange?" And where
Yeah,
is
Orange just on vacation. He will when he will get better, he will come back. He gives opportunity everyone to play and win. So
We
be
appreciate
happy.
that. We appreciate
Practice
that. I
more.
hope
Yeah.
he's doing well. I haven't heard from him in a little while too, so I'd love to. You know,
Yeah, we
we
have
wish him well.
DM.
We love Orange. We love him when he comes in and
He's
participates
okay.
in
Yeah,
conversations, and he's such a great dude in our space. So we wish him well.
yeah. He's on recovery. He will be well. Okay.
Nice.
If you wanna, we can play 2 games simultaneously. It's up to you.
Honestly, we have plenty of time because the SIP call doesn't start until.
Okay, let's play one by one.
Let's do it. One by one.
Okay. We are ready. If you wanna, we can launch. Everyone, calm down. Anyone like?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Let's go. The Leo game. You have to find the woman in pink. Let's go. Oh no, sorry.
I feel like the panel should do a little dance during the countdown or
Let
something.
me-
Yeah,
let
like
me-
GP does his flexing. Yeah.
Relaunch this game. No, I will launch this game after. We launch now the Flat Earth game. Everyone get back.
Oh wait, don't do. All right, so this one. Sorry, get back. It was a false
Mustn't we do
alarm.
Lady in Pink?
No, we will play Flat Earth game right now. Get back, everyone. This game I deleted. We play Flat Earth right now.
Okay.
So disregard. That image is going to be different.
Yeah.
Abort mission.
So we play Flat Earth. Yeah. Can you count down one more time?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, we are playing Flat Earth game. Let's go. We have to find this how dump.
Like, repost. Make sure you share the live stream, folks. It's very important. It helps us grow. We reach more audience. We get more penetration. We onboard more new users to the game. And that gives us an opportunity to get more prizes, bigger prizes, and more opportunities to play. Make sure you're sharing out that live stream. And then we're looking for the dump truck. the flat Earth dump truck along the road here. Turn around.
So when my son was little, because he's always like kids always get a dump truck for presents, right?
Right.
So when he was little, he couldn't say dump truck properly. So it came out like dumb fuck.
I knew where that was going.
We
I
used
love
to make him say it all the time. Whenever we saw a truck, he called all the trucks dumb trucks, and he would shout out the window, "Look, dumb fuck!"
I've got a similar story. Just quickly, do you know the film Back to the Future, Mel?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a flying car, isn't there? Well, my friend's little boy couldn't say flying car, and he used to say wang car.
That's great.
It's so funny. My husband's sitting here laughing at me telling you the story about the dumb fuck.
Brilliant.
It's just one giant road here, Zenny. This is I've never seen one like this before.
Okay.
How are we doing? Anyone else having any luck with this one? Looks
Not
like we
yet. You have just to go by the road. You have coin flip 50% chance right direction. Okay. But better to use like split screen. DeFi Dictator just record the video how he plays from mobile. He using split screen, he just teleport. So for the games like this, is better to just split screen because you need to teleport on long distance.
Whoops, I did the wrong thing. I want to... Oh, how come it won't give me... It's not giving me... Huh, something's weird. Is that why? Strange, I can't actually get the split screen on there. Oh, that's why, because I'm not. I gotta be in the street view first. I gotcha. That makes sense.
Every now and then there's a car on this highway. It's kind of very like satisfying and relaxing going through Google Maps.
Well, especially in an open space like this, it feels like you're not crowded. You know, kind of encourages people that, oh yeah, there is still space to develop and build in the world. We're not all stuck in condensed population centers if we don't want to be.
That's like here, you can drive when you're going through the Karoo for like 5 hours and it just looks like this. It's like, isn't Central America like that as well?
Well, in the United States also.
Yeah.
It's so huge. There's just, especially like in Texas, you can just drive forever and not, It feels like if you were in Europe, you'd pass through like 3 different countries. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's like the Karoo. Yeah, I think the Karoo and Texas are similar. I'm sure my husband has said that. Basically looks like this, except it's very mountainous here. Which is Texas flat or mountainous?
It's flat. Yeah, it's
See,
flat.
that we have it's like very mountainous here in.
And like when you go out west in the United States, there's actually a pretty big controversy happening in this country right now because there's a lot of like federally owned land out west that is like kind of free use for people. And you've got, some people in the Senate and the Congress and so forth who want to sell some of that. And people are, it's causing quite a bit of controversy. But it's good to have open land that anyone can use. Like if you're like on the East Coast, like everything's owned. Like it's I don't know, it's different. I think it's good to have, lots of open land that you don't have to worry about getting developed and just looking like every other part of America.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, it's amazing too. Like when I was a kid, there was still like land on the ocean you could potentially acquire and develop around here, and now like no way. Like you can't. Like just a small house lot is like stupid money. You can't get it, And at one time, I think like when I was growing up and I saw it all get gobbled up, I'm like, how is this even still here? Like how had people not realized the value of this beforehand? But it's just a matter of reaching certain population density levels, and there's always other economic factors like available liquidity and financing options and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh man, like the richest family in the town where I'm from was basically made during the Great Depression when like this particular family, the patriarch was a doctor, and everyone had to sell their land, because everyone was struggling back then because of the Depression. And this family wound up owning hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of acres of prime real estate, that just set them up for generations. And
crazy.
Yeah, man, it's just like you're talking about, like liquidity and population densities and so forth. But my whole thing is, at least where it comes to this issue in the country right now, is they're not making any more land. So why are you trying to sell it for dollars that can be printed? If you're really looking.
No, you're right. That's a great point.
Isn't that crazy? I know.
It's also a great example of, when they had the opportunity to acquire all that land, they were early, and it was hard to be early. The land wasn't developed. There wasn't anything you could do to make money off of it. So there was effort and work involved in accumulating it and maintaining it through that early period. It's the same thing with being early to a project or a protocol. It's not easy to be there early because there's not as much obvious value in the short term to make it easy. It's hard. There's a lot of work involved when you're early, but being early and being patient and sticking with it can be a hugely big payoff down the line if you're successful.
That's you just made a great case for stacks.
Yeah,
what I was putting down there, sir. Stacks is some open real estate on Bitcoin, and it's not easy right now. You're early, but you can start to see the cities coming together. The towns are forming. The railroads and the highway systems and the airports and the seaports and the shipping lanes and all that are all are developing and coming online. You have more opportunity when you're here before that stuff actually is all functional and helping build it up and being a part of it.
Yep.
I think the game master sent us on a wild goose chase. I haven't found it.
Okay, let's play the next game. Maybe somebody will find in the future.
All right, so this one's still up for grabs. Anyone can find it. If you find it, you post it, you'll win the round for today. So keep looking. This might be ongoing.
Yeah, I just want to say like there is a there is a couple like few cars like this together, and you have to go on the south. But we will launch right now one more game.
Ah, all right. All right, so we're
Let's
back
go.
on Skullcoin. And again, shout out to Flat Earth, B Pepe, Rue, and Fact Fun for the original rounds. We got Leo round coming up. Get back and get ready. You're on the Skullcoin page, and we are waiting for the game round to launch.
Yeah, let's count down. Okay, let's play. This game is not so hard. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Let's go. All right, so we're looking for the Leo in the truck, and we are liking and reposting the game round. Clicking on that link. Actually, I like to open up the picture when it's shorter. So we've got this gate in front, pickup truck on the sidewalk. There's the pole, there's the house, there's the mountain in the background. These are all clues.
Yeah, it's like near starting location. You have to find like not so hard. Okay, let me check the previous game. What the problem, mortals? Just go on the short, long journey. I can drop you the answer, but I give opportunity to everyone.
I mean, we don't even have to have that solved live. We could leave it open.
Yeah, we have a winner for the Leo. No, or not. Let me check. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like we have a winner, and it's Megaphone.
Hey,
Congrats.
let's go. Megaphone was the first one to comment on the show this morning.
Congrats. Deserved win.
Congratulations. I keep forgetting to put my map up. You guys got to let me know when I'm just sitting there on the Skullcoin page waiting for the. So we have one more jackpot round to go.
Yeah.
And we'll give everyone a minute to get back. And I am sharing.
Let's play. Yeah, like 1 minute, and we play like pure madness. Okay, we play jackpot. Jackpot we make not so hard, and this game Flat Earth will play until you just move around the Earth until it becomes flat. Yeah, let me find if we have jackpot game.
All right. And for those of you that are interested, we will be having the SIP call at 10:30. Hero and Hattie will be joining us. We'll go through the voting process on how to vote for SIP 31 or in general how to vote at stx.eco. And then we'll just talk around some of the other SIPs that are in the GitHub and are proposed and are being worked on. And just make sure that you guys have an opportunity to know about some of the other SIPs coming down the pipe that are being worked on. Let me actually make sure they have the link to join.
Oh my god, this is so funny.
What's that?
This flat earth game, and I'm like so obsessively can't give up.
That's great.
Welcome to Find2Earn.
I'm just like, what the hell, Zenny? What are you doing this Friday to me?
Okay, let's play jackpot game. It will be easier, I believe. I don't know, maybe it's another country. Let me check.
All right, so we're still waiting on the jackpot game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually real quick just take a quick break to go freshen up my coffee. I'll be right back.
Okay, chat, if you want to give up, I can give you the answer.
Well, flat Earth. Why don't you just give us a clue?
But I give you the clue. You have to go on the sword. Just go forward.
Jesus, I know. We're going to the south till we get to the actual south.
You know, it's those last 2 sips of caffeine that really do it for you, or for me anyway. You know, and if there's always a couple more sips, then there's a couple more sips. But I needed to warm mine up because I'm sitting in the way of the AC and my coffee's cold. Right? It's not iced coffee; it's just cold coffee. There's a big difference. Huge difference. So we're waiting on the jackpot round launch. Real quick, I'm just going to shout out our amazing marketing partners. Stacking DAO is the leading liquid staking platform for the Stacks network. Stacking DAO is changing the game by letting users earn up to 10% APY on their STX while keeping their assets liquid. Unlike traditional staking, their unique design means no minimums and users start earning rewards immediately, so there are 0 switching costs when moving from other stacking pools. Plus, you've got options. Choose to get your rewards in STX or SBTC, whatever fits your strategy. Want to start earning yields today? Head over to stackingdao.com and jump in. Stacking DAO is where liquidity meets opportunity. Also, GP, Stacking DAO, if you guys don't know, GP is the community manager for Stacking DAO and Zest. Stacking DAO is offering a vote option for SIP 31 where you can go there now. I think it's app.stackingdao.com/vote, and you can actually vote your STSTX and STX BTC holdings on Stacking DAO directly, so that there's no excuse for not participating in the SIP 31 vote. Get out there, get over to Stacking DAO. And BitFlow is the top DEX on Stacks, letting you trade native BTC, STX, SBTC, USDC, runes, and more all in one place by aggregating prices on Alex, Arcadico, and Valar, so you would get the best price no matter what. Recently, BitFlow rolled out flex pools launching with STSTX STX to support liquid staking assets, offering flexible deposits, smarter rewards, and deeper liquidity. And Jack, I know you're part of the Hermetica crew. I hear USDH, SUSDH is going to be added to flex pools on BitFlow soon too. That's amazing.
Massive, because it allows you to, right now, if you want to unstake, you have a 7-day cool-off period through the Hermetica app, right? So having that liquidity pool there, it's all about increasing tools in your tool belt, man. And not to mention the additional DeFi strategies that are going to come out of having this.
Well, right, because right now there's not a whole lot you can do with your SUSDH besides earning yield on your USDH. Now there's something you can do with it, earn a little bit more yield while it's sitting there otherwise illiquid, kind of. So it creates a better pool. You can sell it now because there's a pool on BitFlow. It's easier to trade if you want to get out of it, and or you can earn yield by providing liquidity. So it's like you said, just more tools in the tool belt.
Imagine having a token paired with SUSDH, and it has a native yield function built into that liquidity pool, in addition to what other functions you want to build into that liquidity pool. It's huge. Yeah,
it's awesome. It is. It's great stuff over at Hermetica, which is
Okay, let's switch to jackpot. Let's play this game.
all right.
5 minutes.
5-minute
Maybe
round. We're gonna launch the game. You guys will have 5 minutes to find it, and there's 20 STX up for grabs, sponsored by Skullcoin.
Yeah, today 30 STX. Let's go.
Oh, we had no winner yesterday.
Yeah.
All right. All right. 30 STX up for grabs, guys. Get back. Make sure you're on the Skullcoin page waiting for the countdown. We are ready when you are, sir.
Okay, yeah, we're ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. The game not so hard.
Oh, it's not so hard, guys. It's not so hard. Sometimes that's a lot. Oh, more cows. Is that cows or goats? I can't tell. It's too small of a picture for me. We're liking and reposting the game round. We're going to... It is cows. Cows in a field. That's the best jackpot rounds, in my opinion. So we are going to click that link. We're going to share that screen. We're going to get into the proper layers. And where might we see some cows grazing? Oh, that wasn't it.
Okay, if you want, I can drop the flat earth. The game, the answer. Let me check.
We don't have a winner?
Let me check. I don't know. Stacks is really I mean, like, not Stacks. X is lagging today. Notification very slowly.
X is a little slow. It seems like the whole TL is a little bit tired.
That's like me because I'm sick. Are you also sick, DP?
And it's Friday.
Yeah, I've not been all week.
Okay, chat. If you want, if you give up, like, I will drop location. Let me know in chat.
Let us know in the live chat.
Like, free $10. You have just to go sort. I don't know. You are lazy today. And we are playing like the next game, jackpot, right now. You have to find exactly 3 and exactly look these 3 with the cows.
Yeah, we got to find that birch tree, guys. That white tree.
If you want, I can give you the clue. We will give you like one more minute and we will give you the clue. But you have to listen to the organized show to get this information. Yeah, it's obviously cannot be so close. Okay, let me drop the clue to make this game faster than previous one.
All right.
After the clue, you will have 2 more minutes because it's very simple. I'm dropping the comment. You have to go on southeast. Let's go southeast and you find the location. Very easy. Oh, we posted the Pepe game twice. Very nice, very funny. We will give the double prize to winners. So that's why like X lagging just today. It's not us, it's the platform.
Yeah, we are not lagging.
Okay, so Nixie is the winner in the first game, and the It's Megaphone is the winner in the second game. So we have double winners today.
That's for B Pepe or for the
For B Pepe, yeah.
all right, let's go. You know, the game master said it's easy like 3 times, which leads me to believe it's not easy.
No, I mean if you go from the start directly to this compass, you will find the place.
Let's see.
Like no, it's too close. Like it's after the town. You have to go through the town, yeah, and go there, yeah, there. You have to go somewhere here, but more east. So jackpot games, it's not so close. You have to go on the southeast. Yeah, more. So far from here. Just zoom out because like I don't know where I am.
Definitely looks a little more potentially. I don't
Come
think
here.
that's good.
Come here.
I found it.
You didn't.
Yeah, PeaceLoveMusic found it.
Oh, I'm sure I'm about to find
Congrats, PeaceLove.
it. Did you say hello? Congrats,
Let's
PeaceLove.
go. We're gonna let this stacks ride to tomorrow.
Come on, you won it fair and square.
Well, he was telling us where to go.
He was telling everybody where to go. We were watching you, remember?
True, it's true.
Yeah, today it's working a little bit slower. Okay, chat, you wanna continue playing Find this foul be flat or you just give up? Tell me.
Yeah, let us know, guys. Are you still looking for the flat Earth round or what? We
can move price to Monday.
So we'll have a double flat prize on Monday if we want to do that. Oh,
Yeah.
welcome, Heroes in the house. Good morning, Hero. How are you today, sir?
Okay, let's move the if you wanna like.
Hello.
Or we can like continue this game forever. Hello, Kira.
Assistant boyfriend said he's still playing. So
Okay, play.
I love the
play
name
until,
Assistant Boyfriend.
play until die.
yeah, good. Yeah, you know what? Is there any? If we have no winner, let's leave this one over the weekend. Let's let it go.
Let's
and if there's no
go.
winner by Monday morning, we'll just do a double prize on Monday.
Yeah, if we have no winner, I will find all of you. Like, we have to get the winner.
Right on, right on. Another excellent episode of Find2Earn. Thank you all for joining us today. I had a lot of fun playing with you all, both our live panel and our hunter group community that always comes out and plays and participates. We really appreciate you all for coming out today. And it is now time for Sip Call Friday. Hero Gamer in the house. We're going to chat about SIP. We got SIP 31 vote live. How are you doing today, Hero?
Yeah, great.
Right on, right on. So the first thing we want to do is just kind of, why don't we, I guess maybe we'll talk a little bit about SIP 31. We've talked a lot about it, but the vote has gone. Mel, are you
Yeah, I'm not feeling well at all.
That's okay. Thank you so much. I hope you feel better. Love having you come out and join us. It was a great conversation this morning, as always with you, and we hope you're feeling better and have a nice weekend.
Thanks,
Better,
yeah. So much.
Hi, Mel. Hope you feel better soon.
Thanks, guys. Take care. Lovely to see you all here. Have a lovely weekend. And sorry I can't stay for the call.
See you, Mel.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Always welcome, but if you can't make it, we understand. So we have SIP 31. A little bit of a rundown, just real quick. SIP 31 is establishing an endowment for stacks, funding and identifying the purpose of the purpose being to support and fuel ecosystem growth on stacks through providing more developer tooling, more support marketing, some bootstrapping liquidity for DeFi, for the DeFi protocols, community support with grants and builder support with some grants and opportunities for funding projects needed to achieve the Stacks roadmap of expanding DeFi, adding new users, wallet activations, and all of that stuff. It's a huge deal. It's been being worked on for several weeks now. Lots of community engagement. This actually is the roadmap for how the SIP process should work, where the SIP gets proposed, the authors get a lot of engagement with the community, they take feedback, they incorporate that into the proposal to make the most robust proposal that reflects broad support with the community. And then it is now going to a vote after it's gone through that rigorous process. And so we are through that process and into the first stage, or the voting stage. Vote is live at stx.eco. Anyone holding any amount of stacks is welcome to participate. And it's super easy. You just go to stx.eco, you connect your wallet, you process a 1 microstacks, which is, I think, 0.8 zeros and a 1, or 0.7 zeros and a 1 stacks, or STX, and that registers your vote for the stacks in your wallet. We do need to make sure that there's a quorum reached of 80 million STX voting on the SIP, and 80% of the vote must be in favor for the SIP to pass. Welcome, Hattie. How are you today, man?
Hey, everyone.
What's up? What's up? So, actually, GP, did you bring that up?
Yep.
Do you want to read through it real quick?
Yeah, surely. So SIP 31, a 5-year stacks growth emissions. Bitcoin voting window is from Bitcoin block 9,002 and 677 till a little bit, about 2 weeks. So the proposed treasury and updated ecosystem structure will bring stacks from its foundational tech stage into a critical new phase of traction and growth. The treasury is funded by ongoing token emissions over the next 5 years and strategic seed STX transferred from core contributors. With new capital, provisional treasury management, and clear organizational framework, this SIP allows for targeted user and builder incentives, accelerated core development, and new marketing and liquidity efforts. Community grant programs additional business development resources, and more. Each aspect of this SIP is designed to address historical learnings and challenges while equipping the ecosystem with the tools needed to fuel growth, widespread adoption, and ensure that Stacks thrives as the leading Bitcoin layer 2 for decades to come. And if you click this right here, it'll bring you to the proposed SIP. You can go cast your vote. Very simple wallet connect here. Whenever you click this, it pops up a modal to connect your Leather wallet. And you can go here, boom, confirm the transaction, and then it'll get you set up. You go right down here, and then you can either vote yes or vote no. And it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0. So it is a very micro amount of STX used to vote. So go get your vote. Go cast your vote so your voice can be heard during this very, very pivotal moment for the Stacks.
Yeah, exactly. So did you go through the process already? Do you have a wallet handy to go through the voting process?
Yeah, so I've already voted, but basically the voting process is you click yes here, it'll pull up your wallet that you connected, and then once you click approve and sign the transaction, it will it'll send that dust transfer of STX to this wallet here, and then at the end of the voting period, and this is a separate wallet here. I guess they will weigh the wallets, how much STX was transferred and what people were voting in favor for, whether it's no or yes. And then, it's very, very easy to do. It was very a very clean process. And I even voted by, copying this here, copying that address there, and then you could even send it.
You can send it manually. That's correct.
Yeah, you can send it manually.
You can even send it via Bitcoin transactions, but that's probably more relevant for some solo stackers. Yeah.
Right. And then if you go over to STX or stackingdao.com/vote. Oh, not StackDAO. Stacking. Oh, what is this? This is okay.
That's a North Korean site.
Good for you guys. No, go to stackingdao.com/vote. Go home. I'm having technical difficulties. You can open the app here, right? And then you can go over to the vote section here.
Nice.
I have successfully voted because I have my stacks securing the network with liquid stacking tokens like STSDX or STSDX BTC. And I voted yes for SIP 31.
Nice.
And the way that this will work is, Stacking DAO will vote as a DAO. So whether we're for or against as a majority, that's the way that Stacking DAO will be voting. Also, if you've supplied your STSDX or STSDX BTC on Zest, you can also come here and still vote. So get your votes in, guys.
Anybody who hasn't voted yet? I haven't voted yet, actually, so I'm happy to vote live. Anybody else?
I do have a wallet that I have available, but I'm happy to facilitate watching you do it if that's just as
Why
easy.
don't you do it and I'll do it?
All right, we'll do it. Yes, let's do that. Let me.
Jamie, have you voted yet?
Yes, I am. I couldn't get on the site yesterday, but yesterday was it? I'm confused now. But I couldn't get on the site at first, but I managed to get on there yesterday, and I voted for it. So easy enough process. Just vote yes, approve transit. Obviously, always take a look at what transaction you're approving, but you got no worries there, and just check transaction and away you go.
Yeah, it's super easy. I'm going to walk through it right now. You guys just saw this page with GP. He walked us through all of this info.
I'm going to time you.
Cast your vote. All right, hold on. We'll start back over there.
I mean, you don't have to hurry. I just wonder how long it would take to cast a vote.
So voting ends in 17 days, 8 hours, 59 minutes, and 52 seconds. That is subject to change based on how fast the Bitcoin blocks process, but more or less, that's a generally good estimate. So we click cast your vote, I'm going to connect my wallet. I am on my browser. I'm going to use my Leather browser wallet. This is one of my backup wallets. I do not have a lot of actual stacks in there, but that's okay. 3 stacks is worth voting. 2 stacks is worth voting. Just get your vote recorded. I am obviously going to vote yes. I'm a huge fan of this SIP. I'm going to do it right through the thing. I don't think you guys can see my wallet pop up on the screen, but I'm in my wallet now, and it has, it just says my account. I'm going to transfer 0.000001. So that's actually 5 zeros after the decimal, and 1 is 1 micro stack. I hit approve. And that's it. My vote has been cast. Transaction may or may not have finished yet. Let me just double check in my wallet.
Yeah, it takes about a minute or less if you were just doing it, probably 30 seconds or less. So that's good.
Yeah, should be
Stack it is even easier. It doesn't even. I don't think it casts an on-chain transaction. But yeah, this one does.
I didn't realize you could. I mean, I guess it's obvious that you could use multiple wallets to vote. I just used the main wallet where I've got some stacks.
Right. Well, if you don't have to use all of your wallets, but those stacks that are in other wallets won't count, won't be voted.
So I would almost go like, I would recommend people vote with as much voting power per se as they have. I mean, all the stacks that you have belongs to you. You're able to sign it. You're just spreading the voting power across multiple wallets. But in theory, they could have just been in one wallet. But many people in practice need to spread across different accounts for different reasons.
Right.
So, there's nothing wrong.
Sometimes it's, I want to try out Xverse versus Leather. I want to do it on my mobile versus this, and I like to keep those accounts separate for whatever reason. It could be a safety best practice. It could be, I have a project called DeOrganized, and I'm going to put funds separate from in there versus my regular personal account, but I'm still going to vote all of those funds. And so it could be, I have a test wallet set up that I started playing around with and for other stuff, but there's some stacks on there, and I want to vote those too. So there's lots of reasons why people would have multiple wallets. Just from the more engaged in this ecosystem you become, the more active wallets you actually accumulate. Is really
that's true.
That's
true.
I think as well, it's, as you say, best practice is always use a burner wallet for your everyday activity. So that's just maybe not the stuff you keep if you've got any savings, not the wallet you would keep savings in.
Yeah, Jenny, that's a great point. It is definitely a best practice to limit the amount of interaction you do with any wallet that has a significant amount of funds on there. Put your funds in a more secure, less active, air-gapped wallet to protect yourself and interact with any time you're interacting with your wallet. That should also be funds you can afford to lose.
I'm a big fan of a Signa in this regard. You making a multi-sig for yourself, make it to where you need, say, 2 or 3 signers, where you hold 2 signatures and maybe you have an emergency contact you trust to be that 3rd signer. Massive, just easy to stay on a hot wallet, easy to stay secure.
Someday, I'm going to need you to we'll do a live stream, and I'll have you and GP. I know you both have used the Signum before. I haven't. I had it on I have it in the Signum wallet, but I never actually used it because I wasn't quite sure what happens when I link my other accounts to it and how that all works. And I just didn't have the time it wasn't necessary enough for me to go through it. But I think that
we've had Vlad, the founder, on multiple times on Twitter Spaces, I think. So he will be happy to come on and share some stuff with you guys. And I think what's missing is, we've talked about a Signa before, but we've never seen it in action. So I think would be really good, like for Jack, just to like show us like hands-on how it works. Because in theory we can talk about how it works, but I think it's much more tangible when people see it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. I think it would be very, very helpful personally for me. And if it was helpful for me, it'd probably be helpful for some of the people watching as well.
So can I share my screen? I'll vote live as well.
Yes, you know, you can actually just press. There's an H is a hotkey, or there's a button at the bottom of the screen that you can click that'll bring it
Present?
up. Yeah, there's a present button.
Oh, but I already did share.
I have to go. I will go to vote from my all 50 wallets. Let's go.
Yeah. Why don't you vote one now live, Zenny?
Yeah.
His wallet is too big.
Yeah, he doesn't want to flex on us that much.
Okay. See you, everyone.
Thank you, Zenny.
Yeah, we have a winner. We have a winner from a Flat Earth game finally.
Who got it? Oh. Was it assistant boyfriend?
Yes, Tamil Chat.
Hey, all right.
Thank you, Zenny, for making my profile, my new profile.
Yeah, that's amazing. I like it too.
It's very cute.
Wait, Zenny made that for you?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love it. I was actually going to comment on. I love that you're rocking it on here too, because I know that you made that unofficial poll about it yesterday, and it seemed like the consensus was actually that they like your old picture.
Probably my normal one.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm
anyway,
a fan of the new one.
So can you see my screen, guys?
Yes.
Cool. So like P said, this is the latest. You can actually. Oh, where are the other ones? Is any old proposals?
They aren't on there now. I noticed them missing.
They were.
They were there before that. They were SIP 29 and SIP 29 was on there, I think.
Yeah, I think. Anyways, so go to SIP 31. Just connect wallet. Can you see the pop-up?
Yep.
Sorry. Connect wallet. Confirm. Okay, go yes or no. Should I vote no? No, okay. I'll vote yes.
You should vote how you feel, Hero.
And because I'm a pretty stingy person, I'm gonna go low, change the transaction to low, so fees much lower. So all you're sending is a maximum of, less than a penny, like a fraction of a penny of stacks to an address. And it's just like a transfer token address. It doesn't have the contract per se. It's just a normal transfer. So it's pretty safe, and you're spending so little. And the network fee right now is pretty small as well. So that's it. And let's see if I can see any activities. Should have been casted. I have 21 voting power. You can see where the voting power is. This is 21 just like free floating stacks in your wallet. That's not being staked. That's not being in the pool. And then if you have any like in experts pool or fast pool, it will say here like how much voting power you're exercising, so to speak. So yeah, that's it.
Easy peasy. So there is absolutely no excuse not to participate in this, guys.
Yep.
Super easy to do.
I saw someone post that as of right now, like the fours are like 97% for.
I don't think that's available.
If I can share my screen again, I actually got that tweet.
Yeah, go ahead.
Where is it? How do I share again? Let's see. Right here. Can you guys see?
Yep.
So it is saying we are currently 97% in favor.
I'm still showing your like just the stx.eco page.
Okay. Okay, this one. Oh, what's going on here? Sorry.
Oh, that's good. That's it. Oh, is that the wrong one?
It's the right one, but I'm just gonna share my window.
Sometimes that's easier.
Yeah.
Just make sure
Now?
your risque tabs are closed first.
Yeah. My only stacks tab.
Your only stacks.
Can you guys see?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So this is it. Can you guys see?
Yes,
Cool.
sir.
Yeah, so it's 97% in favor, which is I guess good news. And the yes vote, there has been.
Oh, so we've already made the consensus too.
We've already passed the threshold of 80 million.
The quorum of 80. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if only 80 stacks being exercised, then it's not like meaningful enough. So I guess like what would be a good number? I think 80 is like the current kind of bare minimum bar, I would say. I think we can make it higher in the future if we want to. I think depends on how much is being stacked and how much not being stacked floating around, then you can probably get an idea. I think there was some discussion about making it high enough so that it's I think it's you can't just have like, I think based on the biggest whale who is in stacking, like what's the biggest address account being stacked, and that number of the threshold, the minimum threshold of 80 million must be twice as big as that single address was where the original thought came from, the 80 million. But that's adjustable.
Do you think that it maybe is necessary to adjust that? I tend to not. I think that that's probably a fine.
I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's stacking DAO already has 80 million in one protocol alone. I mean, I would imagine we would want higher progressively, to be honest.
Well, and now that it looks like we'll be increasing the amount of STX too. That we should keep that in mind.
I mean,
down the line.
For those who don't know, like there's a little details in the SIP 31 that actually says the endowment itself will not be voting for SIPs. So if you just had theoretically 500 million minted like in one go, at Genesis, those 500 million will not be used for SIP voting because you are basically having 20% of the network already. So that caveat is added into the SIP, but it doesn't. For example, if endowment was to pay Mintery, for example, for some to run the program, the program operator might be paid in USD, might be paid in SCX, we don't know. But if it was in SCX and that grant goes to pay for the grantees of the Mintery, like it's really hard to control like the second and third order flow of that SCX. But the address at endowment can be more or less monitored and controlled so that the endowment will choose not to vote with its own treasury.
Yeah. And I mean, as time goes on, like you said, that'll be disseminated throughout the larger community. But yeah. No, it's cool, guys. I think that this was, I know we're still voting, but it was a good proposal. It's a necessary proposal. And I'm really digging how awesome it was to participate in decentralized governance, at this scale in this community.
Yeah, I don't think other chains do it at this scale. I gotta say.
No, I agree. We have what's been done with this SIP proposal as far as a catalyst towards getting the community engaged and collaborating and working towards the goal together has been an absolute game changer, in my opinion. Like Stacks is ready to really take this to the next level, not just with the SIP proposal, not just with the funding, but in how connected and networked and engaged the community is. to really hit the ground running with this stuff. It's an amazing development, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, 100%, man. Like, this is you cannot buy this community, and the example that we're setting, the foundation that's been laid for the continued growth and success of this network cannot be understated. This is massive, and we deserve it. We deserve a chance to compete with the guys who've never had to worry about some little bit of funding to go a long way. You've got networks out there that just throw money at everything to see what sticks, and meanwhile we just run lean as can be, and we've been very effective, and now we can continue to run lean, but we can have so much. We can still be lean relative to everyone else and do so much more than we've ever been able to do. Put it that way.
Yeah, and just to sort of demonstrate what the money will go into, I just finally found the Stacks roadmap. So, and not just the Stacks roadmap, there will be other grants, but some of the more like the technology side of things, I guess, is the Stacks Core, the next version of SBTC, and the phase for ecosystem growth. So all this stuff, whether it's DeFi related or community centric initiatives or DeFi incentives, maybe even BNS as well. I'm pretty sure stablecoin, like all this different stuff. This is what the endowment is aimed to achieve. I think I almost think of it like, we were a startup and we were trying to build a prototype. And we build it now because I would say more than 10 minutes and more than 40 minutes is kind of like difficult it's still like a pre-prototype stage or even just a prototype. It's not really mainnet. And I would describe like when we have Nakamoto upgrade, the fast blocks and cheap fees and really good security for SBTC. I think now that we've proven the prototype works, and now we go out and raise funding to fund the next phase of growth to go to market. So I personally think of it in that framework.
Yeah, and I think it's a great analogy because it really does kind of reflect all of that. There's been a lot of work, a lot of sacrifice, and a lot of like Jack said, we're doing it with less. And we're producing with nothing almost, and so we're well prepared to produce very efficiently and effectively with this funding because of how we've developed everything here over the last few years and how things have been being built out here. It's ready. We're ready for this, and the communities. I think this is going to be a huge win for the ecosystem. Hattie, I haven't. How are you feeling about the voting process? Did you get your stacks voted yet?
I haven't voted yet, but I will be voting. I'm still reading.
Yeah,
there's a lot to consume. There's a lot.
There's a lot to consume.
Yeah,
I recommend like if people want to get deeper. I really highly recommend everybody start using Stacks Forum. This is like one of the main tools that you would use to participate in Stacks governance. Essentially, like good usage of create an account, Stacks Forum, forum.stacks.org. Then this is like where the first draft came as this thread. 27th of May by Tycho. And then you have like so much conversations. Rash chimed in on tokenomics, different people looking at from different perspective. Even Ken from Xrest chimed in his thoughts. Triple Monkey chimed in his thoughts. Diego, like I chimed in my thoughts. Fridger also Larry. So it's really, really important part of the process to be able to use Stacks Forum, in my view. And then you have like a second thread being created, almost like the next draft iteration from the first. Then that was like posted as a link, and there was a Google Doc available to view for like quicker iterations and commentaries. And you can see all the commentaries here, blah, blah, blah. You know, different people chiming in different thoughts. So I really recommend Stacks Forum as a tool. And then I want to explain to people like the next step after you done the Stacks Forum, the real constitution wording live in GitHub, if you think about that. And this is where the real text, the final text being stored and being commented. So I would encourage people also start using GitHub as well. And it will take you to another level of participating in Stacks governance.
Yeah, it's important. And I mean, I remember for years I would fuss on a timeline or in private messages and be like to the people, you know, at the higher levels of in Stacks, like, look, you have to be more active on Twitter. You have to be more active on Twitter. And we've seen that. So now it's like to the community, you have to be more active on these forums, guys. Like, you know, and that's and we're seeing that. But to Hero's point, like this is a part of the process that everyone needs to be aware of. You know, if you're here and you're building here, or this is your home base in any way, shape, or form, you need to know this. You know, these are deep waters. This isn't like a superficial surface level thing. Like there's a lot of moving parts in this ecosystem, and you're going to be more effective the more you know. And this is important.
Yeah, 100%. And this is the real, like the final docs that will almost being like inscribed to the GitHub. And then this is the real final text. So if you look at this, would be the most accurate of what reflects the latest specification, so to speak. So if anybody wants, just take a look, go over this. You don't have to comment on it, but like start getting yourself familiar with it, you know. It will really help your future career per se in Stacks. But, you know, and why do I say this? It's because all of you participated in the appointment committees, right? And what were some of the criteria for appointing trusted leaders? I remember 2 criteria at least came out of that discussion. One of them was GitHub. The other one was Stacks Forum. And these measurements as almost like signals as to how deep your participation is in the Stacks ecosystem. And I think most of people here, you know, myself included and others, use Stacks Forum, use GitHub. So if you really want to further up your skill in Stacks and want to have more opportunities, I think really helps if you do it.
And it's important to know because anybody can propose a SIP.
Yeah, you can go to Stacks Forum here, Stacks GitHub here, and actually just like make an issue and propose an idea. Issue is probably where you propose idea. PR is where like, look, this is the one that we would like to touch on today by Fridger. He proposed something by himself. It wasn't from Jude, you know, it's from Fridger. He just said, there are ways to improve stacking. And he made a suggestion of how to do it and wrote a whole doc about it.
Yeah.
And that is moving forward. That's generally being incorporated. Does that one require a vote? It does, right? Because
it's consensus breaking,
right?
Which is like hard fork. So that's one of the items that we want to talk about, right? What this circles back to SIP deputies, guys. You guys have been helping me becoming the deputies, handling different SIPs. And here is like the working dog that I use to track like who is responsible which. So I was doing some of these. Hattie is handling some of these. Oh, peace, love. You're on the Fridger one, so you are the SIP deputy for Fridger stuff. So
all right, and I got to catch. I haven't looked at it in a while, so I'm not sure what changes have been made or possibly have been made. But it revolves around eliminating the cooldown period on stack, so that it just makes it easier for people to change from one pool to the other and move around, and also makes it easier for pool operators to determine where the funds are going to go for their pools. So it just makes it the process better. There's not really any negative trade-off from what he's proposing either.
Yeah. So if you look at the GitHub, this is where I mostly work in GitHub, and you can see like just probably a few days ago he pushed like an update, I think. Oh look, like Raphael reviewed something last weekend, like a small typo. I think you can see like when commits is like a snapshot basically. Yeah, he pushed something new 17th of June, like DOS related stuff. He corrected some typo stuff. So the doc continuously get evolved and improved as conversation evolves. So it's really useful to use GitHub for this reason. So anyways, so how do you guys feel about the next, after the SIP is done? What would you say is important that we should focus on, guys, my SIP deputies?
I'm less familiar with the reputation SIP. I'd like to hear more about that, because I do think that that's an important thing for the ecosystem. I love what Zero Authority is doing on that. I'm less familiar with that. I think Larry's proposal, Bitcoin addresses for stacks, is also very, very interesting, because we really do want to make it like there's no difference between stacks and Bitcoin, that stacks is just an extension of Bitcoin. And that is one way to kind of put that make it appear that way, or feel more like it's one entity using the same wallet addresses. So
yeah, do you have any update?
Do I have zone files? I'm not sure if it's fully complete yet. I think there's still a few touching points still to fix.
Okay.
I think there's a few things that still need to be done there, but it's pretty much complete. Bitcoin addresses, Larry's done the first version of the SIP, so that's in review process at the moment. Stacks Pay is on hold still, although it will go ahead. And reputation, I'm happy to talk about reputation, which is available, and to talk about why it will actually be really important as Stacks Pay as well.
So which one would you say is the closest to the final finishing line?
Stacks Pay, I'll have to follow up with Dan and double check when he's looking at proposing to do it, because I know he's busy with launch. So it comes post-launch boom wallet. Bitcoin addresses, again, Larry is keen, but we're going to have to get some feedback, because there are potential concerns with, if it isn't implemented properly, that there may be crypto lost with using Bitcoin addresses. So there's some technicalities around it.
So BT address has some risk?
Risk in as far as the wallets will need to adopt certain aspects to make it easy for us as users, so that it limits the amount of possible problems.
Would it be fair to say we basically must have two biggest wallets on board with it, Xverse and Ledger, and maybe Xigna as well?
Conversations have already taken place in the background. So Larry has spoken to all of the founders directly.
Cool.
So
That's
the
good.
wallets are on board. It's a matter of following the process and making sure, again, dotting I's, crossing T's, making sure that there's no obvious problems that could occur, because nobody wants to send Bitcoin to a Bitcoin address and it doesn't arrive. But I think
Yeah.
future state will be amazing, because what it'll do is it'll allow seamless interaction with SBTC in the future, I think. But we need to get this first step done.
Yeah. Cool.
So reputation may take a little bit of time. Again, zero authority. So for clarity's sake, I'm obviously a part of the core team there. We're obviously pushing version 2. We're still in beta, and we've obviously got Nova dropping soon. So the team is focused mostly on those things. But reputation is there. It's a format to allow anybody to adopt within the ecosystem a form of reputation, and then to allocate to that, to the different, I think there are 9 separate categories that we have.
I almost feel like this reputation thing, it starts from zero authority. But actually, because I've been using BNS1 lately, and maybe I'm thinking like maybe that reputation thing is almost like, it's a standard. Like I can use another service provider and I will still see the same thing as what I see on zero authority, right?
Correct.
But zero authority is the first to use it. But if I want to have my own app that has a dash meter of the reputation displayed, there will be a way.
I like your Stacks Dictator adaptation of the zone file, sir.
Would that be right, Hattie?
Yeah, I think the viewpoint is that it would be ubiquitous and everyone would use it, and we would be able to, and that's why the upgrade to BNS zone files are so important, because because that'll allow everybody to have the same information. So whether it be a wallet or whether it be BNS1, it's all tracked through the BNS zone file. So, and then the sandbox that we have at the moment that Eric put in place, we can play in the sandbox part and test out new features, and then bring those into the zone file as another line item.
Well, I didn't realize that was, so almost like tracking with zone file.
So would it be accurate to say that the reputation SIP started out with the development of the idea for reputation on chain, and as that's been developed and is now kind of ready and deployed or being deployed, now it's time for the SIP, because now we have this reputation tool established, and the SIP is to get the other ecosystem players to kind of be aware of it, start interacting with the conversation on it, to develop the standardization for using this reputation score and these reputation tools throughout the ecosystem in however different projects might want to use it, like BNS. Like we might incorporate something like that on the DeOrganized suite of apps. Would make sense that we would, and so on. But that's basically the process in action. Is you develop a use case, you work on it, you have it kind of in a go-to-market state, and then the SIP proposal comes from that to get it adopted into the ecosystem.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit similar to BNS Bitcoin address, right? You can create something, but if no other people adopts it, then it's kind of hard. So what's good is zero authority as one of the main provider will be adopting it, and I think the more like other mini provider will also adopt some of the standard, just like the BNS Bitcoin address does. Like you need multiple vendors all activated. The more, the better, let's say.
You know, it would be a fun experiment that we could do through this process and include DeOrganized. the Stacks Invaders NFT, it's not an accepted token standard. So maybe we go take the whole SIP process and submit it, the DMT NFTs as a standard on Stacks. That might be fun.
A DMT or evolvable NFTs.
Yeah, you can basically just submit as a pull request here. Since I think it would be so the closest one would be like SIP, I think is it 9. That's NFT standard.
Mm-hmm.
So we could almost like follow this template and suggest like this is a new standard. Yeah, I don't see any issue. And actually, recently there was a conversation of, because of SIP 30, we talked about actually, even if it's not like super widely adopted, but still have it on SIP GitHub as part of almost like a notice board. Like it doesn't have to be like ratified. And when I say ratified, it just means like pass all the SIP process, blah blah blah. Get all the approval. We came round to thinking, okay, this GitHub doesn't just have to be things that have been fully approved or like got the stamp of certification per se. Like even if DMT doesn't have the full stamp of certification, it doesn't really matter. It should still be on this notice board, because this is what Bitcoin does. Bitcoin, if you went to the Bit repository, they have many things that are still in the draft phase. Final, like rejected stuff is even on there. Proposed stuff is on there. Some of them are final, but some of the more famous one you think is like crazy, right? Like the SIP 39. Oh, that's final now. Before it was not final. It was in the draft stage. It was pretty crazy. Like many famous stuff are in like draft phase. It's pretty crazy, but it's discoverable. If we put the DMT thing on the Stacks notice board, it will be discoverable. And I think that's what's important, to help others discover stuff.
Yeah, that might be a fun thing to do.
Yeah, we are here ready to help you. Me, Peace, and Hattie. So
yeah, anyone that wants to propose a SIP, that's what we're here for, and happy to do that. I think it would be a great exercise to walk through that, and good for the ecosystem to kind of develop a different NFT standard that does different things. I think that would be an important or an interesting use case.
Yeah, so I don't know if anybody want to take that up. I can do it, or Jack can do it. Oh, sorry, I mean I can do it, or Peace can be responsible for that. So there's a point guard on this.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm happy to do it, and or however it works. Obviously, I have a pretty solid working relationship with Jack. Not that anybody doesn't, but happy to work with him on that.
Yeah, that could be fun, man. Because we already have it we already have the GitHub, for the DM, everything laid out, but we never put it up to be a proposed standard before. So that might be fun. And we could use it to draw more attention to how this works, and not everything is going to be a SIP 31 just gigantic, drop what you're doing and pay attention now. Some things are just going to be kind of quiet but still cool.
Right, likely we won't have a SIP like that again.
Right.
Not so soon. I think the next biggest one might be stacking improvement by Fridger. That could be a big one, and that also needs votes. And it's a really good one to play around, because it's the first community SIP I would describe, because Fridger is not like part of Trust Machine or Foundation or any of the big entities. He's a very independent operator and contributor of the ecosystem. And if we can help him get a consensus SIP through, I think it's a really good demonstration of the power of governance in stacks, that you can really propose something and have a team to help you get it through to finishing line. No, you don't have to work for foundation to do it. You don't have to work for trust machine or have a Manib or a Jew to propose something. And yeah, I think I really love to help Fridger to push his idea through.
I would say one of the challenges for a proposal like Friedger's is getting like contrary opinions about why it would be a negative, why it might not be good to do, because there's not a lot of I guess really what it is we need just a little bit more diverse perspective to make sure we're not missing some good reasons not to do it, or some things to adjust why we might want to add this feature or that feature. So it's about getting the engagement on the forum and in the GitHub to discuss what's going on. Anyone that has an opinion about that, like, your opinion's valid. Don't be shy. Don't be afraid to go say something, even if it ends up being wrong, completely wrong, because you're talking over your head from a technical standpoint. But if you have a thought about something that's being proposed, by all means, ask the question. Don't be afraid to look stupid or be wrong, because sometimes it's just about, if nothing else, you're just learning more, and then so you're more prepared to help next time. But you could actually be providing key insight that your perspective makes you uniquely able to provide, that we can't get from other places. So ask.
That's a great point. And I hear my college student up and about, so I'm gonna have to drop here in a minute. I wanted to reinforce that no matter what your background is, you might have an idea, but you really don't know whether or not it can work. But you get that in front of someone technical who might have never thought about that before, and lo and behold, it works. And then it's a matter of figuring out, how to bring it to life. So 100%, man, that's a great point. But
Jack, before you drop, can I just ask you a quick question?
Sure.
The next topic I would like to go into discussing is like the governance budget. We could potentially be having like 500,000 governance per year, maybe. I think that's what I last read. K of budget to use, and if that were the case, for like maybe let's say 50 grand or whatever amount, how would you use a governance budget like that? Anything that comes to your mind?
As always, I like to be able to think about something for a while before I have any final judgments. But like, I think that if you really want to look at these things, like, how involved do you want people to be in these processes? How much good work do you want to have done in these processes? How much time are you asking of volunteers? So like, I think that, having a budget that helps, like, benefit the people who are putting all this time and effort and energy into things, I think you wind up with better results. I think you wind up incentivizing more people to get involved in the first place. And again, like, if you go back to like the earliest days of Stacks, and you take things like the Stacks advocates, that was really focused on, like, you have a lot of leaders in this ecosystem that came out of Stacks advocates, and it had like a pretty minimal budget, and yet there was a lot of good things that came out of that, and a lot more could have been accomplished if it had a better budget. So I think there's something there. But to go much further, I would just be something that, it deserves more thought. But just surface level thoughts, it makes sense. Like, there has to be, some kind of setup to incentivize, the best outcomes.
I 100% agree. And that is a huge, we have a bunch of amazing people that do contribute time voluntarily and effort time voluntarily and work voluntarily. But it's not a holistic paradigm to expect that that is how you're going to get everything done. You can't, it doesn't, it's not sustainable that way. So you're like, exactly, just to reiterate what Jack said, some budget to incentivize the participants that are putting in good work and are contributing significantly to keep them, to keep them there and help grow that group of people that are participating. Not everyone has to be a paid, there is room for voluntary participation. And that's actually a great way to get to know people, get to know what's going on so that you can increase your value and then maybe be in line for something that does get compensated because you've now proven your worth, proven the value you bring to that. But I do think that a budget for that kind of things is warranted. And we saw that with D grants all too well. There was a lot of work and a lot of productivity came out of that. But without a budget, it can't be sustained. It needs to be funded. And it doesn't have to be like exorbitant funding, but it's got to be enough to actually, compensate the people for their efforts. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, if I may just quickly screen share, just to show people where the text is at.
You're up there. Yep, you're up there.
Right. Where is it? Here. Right. So Stacks Foundation governance allocation to ensure that Stacks Foundation has sufficient resources to provide governance, blah, blah, blah. The endowment shall provide up to 500K USD per year in funding governance activities and at the discretion of foundation. So foundation in the future will be more solely responsible for governance, almost like I don't know if it's oversight, but it's just like governance stuff. It can go towards SIP deputies, working groups, CAPs, supporting education, editors, development, funding SIP engagement bounties, blah, 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 coordinations. These are some of the thoughts I had, and I was sort of like fighting for it.
I would add just generally like SIP promotion and awareness and engagement.
Okay. Like with every other things, I think it's not like we need to list every item, but do you think it's worth adding this specific item so that it's like etched in stone, or do you think like it's one of the many things that?
Well,
I think it's worth looking at because let's say, how many hours a quarter would, especially in a growing ecosystem, could you imagine, people having to dedicate to really push this forward? I think something like 100 hours a quarter is a reasonable expectation.
Yeah.
And that's like a third of a job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's worth keeping in mind. Like that's what you're asking of these people who are help doing a very important task.
Yeah.
So and agreed, yes, we should have like ways to make people not just interns but apprentices, and yes, people should prove themselves. And because that's good, but then when they have a goal was like, hey, I can do that, that also makes that a little easier, right? To attract people anyway, because everyone's got a part to play, and you might not know it. You just might really love all this stuff, and you just know you want to be involved, and you don't know exactly what that looks like. This is just another path, and it's very important. So yeah, it's definitely worthy of consideration.
Yeah, I just sent you this text in DM piece. So if you want to edit something or add some wording, let me know. Like I know it probably hasn't covered maybe the part that you just mentioned. So if you want to add it in, just give me the new text. And what I would do is I would go to the GitHub, Where's the GitHub? I will go to the GitHub and submit like an update, and see if the SIP author can include that the more specificity around that governance side of things.
Right on. Yeah, no, I'll look through it. I'll kind of just toss you some wording adjustments and or additions, and I should be able to do that within the next like hour or two.
Yeah, it's look, like I truly believe that we're going to see, we're all used to being in stacks, and we all have this mental model of what that looks like. And I think we're on the precipice of having to adjust that mental model, because I believe that what we're doing is going to be quite successful, and you're going to have just a tremendous amount of growth in this space, in this ecosystem in particular. And that means more SIPs. That means more governance. That means, it means something for the protocols. It means something for, your retail end user. It means something for DeFi. It means something for DeOrganized media.
Yeah.
Like, all of these things, we're because that's what we're voting on right now. We're voting on the best way that we can figure out on how to, add significant growth here. So, that's good forward thinking, Hero.
If we have more people, if we're gonna, I think Hattie just DM'd us, like if we have more people, in theory, we're gonna have to scale the governance to, to let their voices heard as well. Teach them how to vote, teach them how to participate. We're gonna have more peace love. I would hope after we onboarded more people, we'll have even more peace love and Haddies and yourself who care about governance can actually get involved. And we also need to scale. We scale everything else accordingly. We cannot not scale governance as well. So I think that budget there is to anticipate that we also need, and not just like future, but current. Like in my opinion, I really believe Peace Love and Hattie have really helped me in shining light to governance, whether it's from a marketing perspective or coordination perspective. I want the future piece to know there will be a pathway to contribute and to earn, to stay motivated in the ecosystem.
And there's a natural order of things. So like, as people have been here and stay here, and they gain more experience and understanding of not just stacks, but this whole paradigm we're in general, that wisdom needs to be put to good use, right?
Yeah.
And there needs to be, people to absorb that wisdom, to fill shoes that, are currently filled, so that the people in those shoes can then, assume different roles and different things. And anything that we can help that process work, it only adds to the longevity of everything that's been built and done here. It only makes the foundation, harder and firmer going forward. And again, like as a microcosm of that, we were talking about that in the beginning of the show, the idea that I want Rue to outlive me, so the decisions that we make today are so that, Rue doesn't require one personality to have it relevant, that it has a life of its own. And, if you just scale that up just a little bit, you can see how that's applicable to stacks. Because, one day Hero might not be Hero. But we need another Hero. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
I
mean, the way I'm seeing it, I'm training, kind of training like Hattie and Peace. Should I fall ill one day? Should I have an accident? They kind of know like what's going on, and they can, help out the ecosystem.
Right, and like, and God forbid, but it might be for other positive reasons that you can't focus the energy that you focus now, and you're an indispensable part of this ecosystem. And just like when you look at like DeOrganized media, You know, there's going to come a time where Peace's time is best spent, you know, less on the, hey, here's the news, here's this, here's that, and moderating this stuff. There needs to be people who can step into that, you know, because this is DeOrganized is becoming a indispensable part of this ecosystem. And there needs to be that, we need to think about that in all things. And so that's why, like, me personally, I'm such a big advocate for mentorship in general, and just trying to, like, because mentorship's not easy. You can start mentoring somebody and put time in them and they wash out. They don't work out for whatever reason. So like, that's its own thing. And we have to look at this at scale and realize anything we can do to make that process more effective and more foolproof is critical. It's not even important. It's actually critical, because people have to know why we're here in the first place. And it takes it's a long journey from what's a crypto to the discussion that we've been having here for the past, you know, half hour, 40 minutes.
Yeah, 100%. We need to onboard more people, and we need to actually raise them up so that they're producing like the other top producers in the ecosystem. I mean, there's room for more. You know, there's always room for more. We need more people making content, doing shows, creating media companies, coming up with SIPs, innovating on NFTs, community growth, driving communities like you've done with Rue, and what Jamie's doing with his dog pool, and all of the, you know, the Peggy coin and all of that stuff, and what Hattie's helped doing with Zero Authority, and building these protocols, building the network. But we can't, in order for us to grow, we need to grow with more people doing those things as well.
Right. Yeah. You don't need one PeaceLoveMusic. You need 100 of them.
Right.
That's when you think about, you know, the people you look to as leaders in this ecosystem, understand that if we're going where I think we're going, we need more. And anything that helps facilitate that is important.
Yeah, I think what we could do is, what I would love to trial is how we can put together, because we have like governance cap right now. And we have the public calls like this, which are not like governance cap, but we are basically doing a lot of the governance working group kind of stuff, discussing about governance, even hands-on coordinating governance as SIP process and SIPs and stuff. So I just want to see how we can make it more structured in 2025 and 26, how we can collectively have like a roadmap forward. Maybe it's governance mentorship, like we make up a program that dedicated to peace love, teaching others. I take on like a few guys, we bring it on to the stream, and we discuss and we help do stuff in the governance sphere, and that is tied to some contributions. And I would like to propose even myself, like we should already have a retroactive program in governance to reward the likes of Hattie and Peace Love, who have proven themselves. And if we can have that in the future, I think it will help others to be motivated to joining the conversation. And yeah, I just want to sort of throw out this medium term sort of vision, or short term even, that now if SIP were to pass, we would have some funding available, and how do we put it to the best use, the biggest ROI, and reward existing contributors who have proven themselves. So yeah, I think whatever we can come up with would be really, really cool.
No, I agree.
We actually got a question from Pomeranian.btc asking me personally, what if we have a budget built out, and if once the SIP passes, how much do we need to scale this out to the next level? We're working on that right now. We are preparing to come up with a budget and a plan for how we would raise this up to the next level, and it would include in establishing some paid roles, permanent, regular paid roles for certain things. Some of the content creation stuff that we're lacking on getting all of the things we can do because we have limited bandwidth. But I do think that there will be a couple of paid roles, some increased budget for some tooling, some better design stuff, some better gear, and I don't think we need a ridiculous budget to really move this on to the next level, but we are working on it, and I think we'll be able to make a proposal that'll be very reasonable and provide an easy, obvious ROI opportunity for Stacks based on what we would do with that budget. But thank you for the question. I really do appreciate that, and shoot me a DM. Happy to chat with you offline.
I think he's a very smart individual. I think I remember him like jumping into like stacking and tokenomics stuff when Maddie was doing a lot of stuff. If I remember,
Pomeranian's level, like that's a guy you don't sleep on. Not only does he have like a firm understanding of things like tokenomics and finance in general, but an excellent communicator as well.
He also asks about a budget for travel to all the major events, and I believe there is some interest in helping me and Jack and GP and get out there with some of the vibe and communicate out there. I believe there's some interest to support that kind of thing. So definitely let people know if your opinion is of the same mindset. I think that our presence in Vegas, by the way, was a huge value add. Just in having us kind of be able to go around. We're very outgoing people, right? We're friendly. We want to know about the projects that are presenting on other stuff too. And so we're going around and we're talking to people about their projects, but we also, because we're so ingrained in Stacks, we relate to what they're telling us via Stacks. So the conversation always has a little bit of a Stacks orientation. So we're selling Hermetica to the Cadena guys, and I'm talking to them about it. And then I move down and I'm talking a couple tables down and I hear Jack and GP talking to the same guy about Hermetica. And all of a sudden, people have heard 3 different people that they don't know that they're even on the same team together, talking independently about Hermetica or about stacking or about what's going on in the ecosystem. And it really actually helps hugely to proliferate what's going on in here.
Yeah, no, it's true. And I mean, look, like Joe Rogan started out with I'm about to take this down a notch, guys. I'm sorry. Joe Rogan started out with like his first sponsor was like fleshlights. So I mean, we get to avoid that whole step right away, then, don't we?
Yeah, I think Peace and GP have built something really, really special here. I think I haven't seen in the crypto space,
No, it's
and what's good is like they truly care about helping Stacks grow, and they didn't just come up with like a for-profit business right off the bat. It was just like how can I help the builders be heard and be promoting them. And I just think like the origin of it is just so cool.
So I'll tell you this, specific to me and GP. I didn't meet GP through Stacks. Well, I indirectly did. I met him through the Node Rocks Ordinals project, which I came upon because of Jack. And I believe Jack also led Kevin there. And that's how I met him. And I fell into I started helping him out and just supporting him with his Gigaverse Discord channel and going in and supporting the dude, because what reflected off of him to me was similar to my own view on things, that we want to just help people. We want to be encouraging and help people with whatever they're trying to do. It wasn't specifically because it was Stacks. It wasn't specifically because it was Bitcoin related. It was because it was a people thing. We had the same kind of mindset. We're looking to help and be productive and positive. And even when something hard comes along, we just keep moving forward. And that is the fundamental basis. So why we're here on Stacks is because we see it as a means to help people and move things forward. So we're not here just for Stacks. We're here because of what Stacks actually gives us the capacity to do.
Yeah. No, it's true.
I'd just like to add, sorry, Pomeranian earlier, I think he made a really good point. You know, when you look at the reason for the SIP and where a lot of people think, you know, Stacks needs marketing and needs pushing in the right direction. And DeOrganized is a great voice for Stacks and, you know, crypto news in general. So I'd personally, I think that's a great idea when we're talking about expanding media companies like DeOrg, you know, because this is we. Not we, but you know, because I've only been here a little while. But you guys and what the foundation has built, what Trust Machines built, what all the main contributors have built is fantastic, and we now need to let the world know about that. So, what better way than, you know, expanding DeOrganized?
Yeah, don't sell yourself as short, man. As far as not
at all. I'm not.
Part of the we, man, because you're very much here. You contribute too. You're an integral part of the community. It does take all of us. You know, you're an important part of it too, is what I want to say. But yeah, it is. There's definitely room for more of this stuff, and it's a great place to do it because there's a lot of. We're not all building the same project, but we're all building for the same purpose. And a lot of the projects actually supplement and complement each other. And a lot of the community and the network supplements and complements each other. And so it's a really good, it feels good when we move forward because we're moving forward together. Like I feel good when Zero Authority completes something because they're my friends, they're my family, but they're also building something that has value in the same space that makes the whole ecosystem more valuable and better to use. So that's over and over again. Like when Rafa hits on something, it's awesome. I feel good about it. When BoostX comes out with a new innovation, we feel good about it. So all of our victories are kind of collective victories to some degree.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, definitely.
Hadi, do you have anything you want to say or about, I don't know, anything? You've been a little bit quieter today.
No, it's fine. I think Jack's points are spot on. I think we need some form of a way of bringing new people into the ecosystem, not from a user perspective, but from actually people wanting to contribute, the likes of Jamie coming on board, an easy way for people to come into the system and understand. And I think the one thing that we haven't all touched on, which everyone has alluded to, the pie is definitely big enough for more people to join our ecosystem. And SIP31 is going to be the rocket fuel that allows us to expand that pie to invite more people in. So I think the succession planning is super important. Having a way of people coming into the ecosystem is super important, not from a user perspective, but from a contributor perspective.
Yeah, no, 100%. And yeah, that's as good of a time for me to sign off so this boy can do his classwork. But it was a lot of fun, guys, and let's do it again
Thank
soon.
you, Jack.
Right on.
Thanks,
I think that has been we're an hour and 15 minutes into the SIP call. Yep. I think did we cover all of the business for the day, all of the agenda for the show? Was there anything else we needed to touch on, Haro?
Yeah, I think I touched on my main agendas, and my biggest two agenda is to go vote. You know, this is exactly what's happening now. Go participate, go vote. Second of all, I want to encourage people in the ecosystem. You know, it doesn't have to be just this group. I want Jamie to think about it. I want Peace, Hadi, Pomeranian. How can we leverage some governance budgets to help us to take the governance side or the SIP side to the next level. So whatever idea is legitimate, we'll talk about it. We'll put it into an action plan and make a proposal. We don't want this to be just like hand wavy. We're just going to spend so much budget. We also want to have a rigorous process. So go vote and think about what would you use a governance budget for? What's a good ROI for a governance budget?
And what KPIs we would measure.
Yeah, that's a great shout. I'm just going to write it down. What's a good KPI? Yeah.
Right on. Hattie, any last words for us today, man?
No, I think it's been a productive call. I think talking more about how we want to build out the SIP process and how we want to do things, and the budget that is up to 500K means that we can really push governance.
Yeah, I think it's actually great. It's a great development knowing that we'll have some kind of a budget to do some of these things for, and it gives us actually a more of a catalyst to actually organize these efforts more, so that we can actually plan that out with the idea of having a budget, which is great because it'll force us to develop that process even more.
I think just like with every other budget, it also depends on how much fundraising and the stacks price. So I wouldn't want to say it's like a fixed amount. I'm not aware, and I'm not thinking it's like a fixed amount. So I think it may be just like every other budget. What it might get affected depending on the stacks.
Right,
price.
and I wouldn't plan it out like a 5-year spending plan with an annual budget about that much, but just an idea of, we have some budget. How can we use it to reach the goals that we're looking to reach?
We would have way more than zero right now. So whether it's 50K per year, 100K, 5K, or 500K. That's the most optimistic case. We have up to a certain amount. So let's think about how we can use it, and we definitely need more improvement on the SIP editor side. So just want a quick plug. If you are good in GitHub, let me know, because it's one area skill shortage that we need in order to help the SIP process to tidy up the document. There's a lot of like formatting, even grammatic stuff that can be improved once that SIP is submitted to GitHub that needs eyes on it. Blah blah blah. So if you're good in GitHub, do give me a DM or Peace or Hattie.
Yes, absolutely. We need GitHub skills badly, and be prepared to teach us so we can absorb some of those skills too. Awesome stuff, Jamie.
I have one more question. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Please.
Yeah.
Can I jump in? So
please do. Man.
To clarify, the next step we're taking from here is that we need to put something together to initiate what we're looking to build out in the SIP process with this potential allocation of money.
Yeah, that's brainstorm some ideas, right? And then maybe we have like idea of 10 different ideas, and we can narrow down. I also believe, I'm a believer of, we also must review and see which ones to say no to, so that we can double down on the right effort and then have that real focus. So if we had 10 ideas, if we narrow down to just 3, then we can really focus on what to achieve. We can't do everything all the time.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense too. So awesome. Yes, I think that's great stuff. I love the idea that we're actually going to be able to fund some of this stuff and actually take it to the next level on this side of things as well. And it's great to have that as a catalyst to further develop these processes and make them more effective and efficient. Thank you, Hattie. Thank you, Hero, for joining us. Jamie, I love it that you made it through the whole marathon from beginning to end. Guys, if you don't know, it's at Bamber Fish Cake and at, what's the dog pool handle? It's at Dogpool.
At Dogpool Coin.
At Dogpool Coin. Check them out. Peggy Coin on STX City. If you don't know, that is the Dogpool coin. Get out there, get you some, and thank you, Jamie. Don't be a stranger. We want you to
Get all your animals friends out to vote, guys. We gotta
Yes.
bring all the animals and pets and cats and all the dogs in a barn must go out to vote.
Yeah, and then bring them back to the Bitflow barn so you can add them to the pools over there. Thank you guys so much. It's been another amazing episode because of all of the people helping us put this out here on the daily. Thank you, Hero. Thank you, Hattie. Thank you, Jamie. I am Peace Love Music. We are DeOrganized Media coming at you live on BitcoinLive, Decentralized Broadcasting every Monday through Friday. Thank you for joining us for the SIP call. Thank you for joining us for the Find2Earn games. It's Friday. We've made it. Make sure you get out, touch some, and get some. Have a great, great rest of your day. Peace out.